another, round another, round another, round another, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, dodging killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the proper's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, dodging killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the proper's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back, kicking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, just tell them you know. Oh yeah, rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back, kicking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, just tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right. lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, Dodging killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. The mouth from my lips when I show me where you wanna go next, you know right away. Yeah. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, Dodging killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. And you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I show me where you wanna go next, you know right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah, while I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Chosen people, you say no way, enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History,
yeah. Hey, shalom. Welcome to Our Hidden History Radio. Our Hidden History Radio. I'm Deacon Athan, and to my left,
my name is Captain Joel.
Officer Laquan.
Officer Jezreel.
Officer Adon.
And we are Our Hidden History Radio. Welcome back. This is Chapter 13. Chapter 13. We was dealing with the Barcas last week. It was one of my favorite parts of the segment. It's been a long time. We finally made it. So we left off with us torturing Regulus, and we came across some more stuff. I want to elaborate on the torture of Regulus because, quite frankly, it makes me happy that we did those things to them.
That's
so
right.
We're gonna get some more, and the bishop's class last week touched a nerve regarding the treatment of our people and the atrocities that they've committed against us for so many years, leading up from as far as this freaking from the time we got here to the '80s movement to this Kawan Charles. So we addressed how Regulus, who was a Roman, I believe he was a general, him and his men bit off more than they can chew, and they ended up on African land, sailed there without doing reconnaissance, and ran to us. And we gave him hell, and they tried to seek peaceful relations or whatever. And he said, nah, the hell with that, So he basically disrupted peaceful relations between Romans and the Carthaginians. So the Carthaginians decided to reward him for being disruptive. And what did they do? We're going to read it out of here first. Let's get Caesar and Christ again. Page 45. I just wanted to start from there. We're going to start at after keeping Regulus. So I'm going to start there. Then we're going to get some more details on this account. After keeping Regulus, right there.
After keeping Regulus a prisoner for 5 years, his captors allowed him to accompany a Carthaginian embassy sent to Rome to seek peace.
Right, between the Carthaginians, us, and the Romans. Go ahead.
But on his promise to return to captivity, if the Senate refused the proffered terms. When Regulus heard these, he advised the Senate to reject them. And despite the entreaties of his family and his friends, went back with the embassy to Carthage.
So basically, he told the Romans to denounce or to reject any parts of the treaty between them and the Carthaginians. So he basically told the Romans, yo, don't make no deal with these guys. I'm gonna go back into prison with them. Don't make. We tried to use him as a bargaining chip to gain a peace treaty between us, the Carthaginians, and the Romans. He said, the hell with that. This guy tried to be a gangster. Now, the hell with that. The hell with the treaty. I'll just go back. I'll just be their prisoner. The hell with it. So he messed things up for us. So watch what happens. Trying to be gangster. Watch.
There, he was tortured to death.
So we tortured him to death. You want to disrupt relations? We begin to torture this guy to death. Go ahead.
By being prevented from sleeping. His sons at Rome took 2 Carthaginian captives of high rank, bound them in a chest studded with spikes, and kept them awake till they died.
So that's called an Iron Maiden. A casket covered, studded with spikes. It's called an Iron Maiden. We on? You still hear me? All right, go ahead.
Neither tale seems credible until we recall the barbarities of our time.
Right. So it says neither tales seem credible until we recall the barbarities of our time. Okay? So this author is saying that this tale may in fact be what's the term? Not credible.
Right.
May not have happened. Right? So now, let's see. Let's get some more sources. Get the next source we found. How old is this book, Jazz? What year is this?
This book is 1913, I believe.
Okay, that's pretty old. Not bad. Get this real quick. Real quick. Was the blue highlighter one?
Yes, sir. Blue highlighter.
Blue highlighter one. Yeah, go to that one. We're gonna get some more accounts on this situation. It says here we tortured him and didn't allow him to sleep. That sounds good, but we wanted more detail as to how he was unable to sleep.
Right.
You just can't just leave it off like that. You know, let's get some more detail. Read that.
Reputed torture and death of Regulus. The Roman historians tell us that after the return of Regulus to Carthage, the Carthaginians wrought up the most furious rage at his conduct and breaking off the negotiation for peace.
Right, go ahead.
Resolved to punish him with the most cruel torture.
So we desired to punish this guy with the most cruel torture we could think of. Go ahead.
After cutting off his eyelids.
We cut out his eyelids. See, we were some great men back then. We were honorable men. We cut his eyelids out. So you can't close them eyes now.
He's just wide
They're
open.
just wide open all day. All day, just wide open. No sleep for you. Go ahead.
After cutting off his eyelids and putting him into a dungeon.
You put him in a dungeon. Go ahead.
They expose his naked eyes to the burning sun.
See? We exposed his eyes to the burning sun in the dungeon. So he got tied down where the sun rises. So he wasn't blind after that. He went blind completely.
Jones is burning, frying.
Just burning his eyes out. Burning. Go ahead.
And then put him into a cask set all around with sharp spikes.
So we had an Iron Maiden. We put him in an Iron Maiden. We did it first. That's our weapon of choice.
Hey, Deke. Now we can see why during the Spanish Inquisition they
Yep.
tortured us.
That's why.
Yeah, now you
going
can
back.
see why. Oh,
Yes,
gosh.
sir. Yes, sir.
Going back. Go ahead.
Where he died in prolonged agony.
He died in prolonged, because in that casket, if you make any sudden moves, you poking yourself. You're getting pricked by the needles in there. So he got poked, he just died. So, all praise to the Lord for that.
That's therapy.
All
Right
praise, that made me feel good reading that, coming across that information. I didn't want to let that slide off. Yes, thank you. Round of applause to our brothers for doing the right thing.
Hey,
To
Deacon,
the right people.
Deacon, real quick. Remember they said
Oh, read the rest, right? They try to play it off.
they try to play it off. Let me read the rest real quick.
Read the rest of it.
It says this story is believed to have been invented by the Romans to fire their soldiers with deadly hatred against the Carthaginians, and as a pretext for their own subsequent barbarous treatment of the Carthaginians. And though Regulus doubtless ended his days as a prisoner at Carthage, there are good reasons for believing that he died a natural death.
Right.
Come
so
on,
man.
man.
Try to play it off like, oh, no, that didn't really happen. The Romans made that story up so that it can fuel up to the Romans to fight against us. But we did it to him. We did that to them.
You know the way they're trying to tell you he was a hero.
Right, pretty
Right,
much.
right.
He didn't die that horrible death at the hands of some niggas. He died. He just grew old and died with us. No, we tortured that dude to death.
Because if that didn't happen to him, why in the other source they said that they did the same thing?
Right, in response to that. You understand? So he sort of doesn't want the world to know that our people, black folks, killed and tortured their own people. It's okay? We did. We had fun doing it. And Lord's one of the kingdom, we're going to do it again.
All praises.
Oh, double.
Double, yeah.
That's right.
Let's jump down to Meanwhile. Same book. Caesar and Christ again. Y'all can buy this book. It's by Will Durant. It's called Caesar and Christ. Very good read.
Very good book.
Very good read. A lot of information regarding this is the book that tells you that Hannibal was in fact akin in relation and by blood to the Jews and as well as the features, because they're the same people.
Hey,
all right.
Deacon,
Yeah.
let's bring out one scripture real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Give me Isaiah 33, verse 18, because Deacon made a profound statement, and I love this statement. I'm going to meditate on it. I'm going to sleep on it. Right. And it's about going to the torture that's going to occur into the kingdom. So the mindset that our fathers had back then is the mindset we're going to have. Because the mindset we have right now is, we still in that docile type of, oh, I don't want to hurt them. You can't see ourselves in that mindset because of the way we were brought up.
Right.
We was brought up to, we have Stockholm syndrome.
Docile, be docile.
So even in this truth, there's a certain level that we'll go to. We would never go to the level of our forefathers because why? We're not brought up in that environment.
Right.
There's a video of I think Officer LaQuat posted up on one of the groups of our young kids, and there was Edomite, I think it was Edomite or Jake was asking the kids question. They was like, "Yo, can you say?"
Oh yeah, it was asking about torturing. Would they be able to torture the white men based on the historical things that happened to us in slavery? And it was like, yes, we would. That was like years ago.
He says to the kids, I built up a wall.
Yeah.
Keep them separate from us.
And he said, "What happened? They try to climb up the wall." He said, "We shoot them." He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He said, "I'll shoot them."
Yeah, that was in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
1972.
1972. It's a different generation now. Now it's the that's you kids now, mumbling nonsense.
All day.
Mumbo, love the white man.
Y'all don't
but kill
read
the
books.
black man.
They don't read books. They read prescriptions now.
Damn.
Different spirit back then. Different spirit.
Yep. Get that. Isaiah 33, verse 18.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 18. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver?
Wait, read that again.
Thine heart
Thy mind.
shall meditate terror.
So our fathers back then meditate on. Think about it. For you to sit down and say, you know what? They had a council. Oh, yo, what we gonna do to these guys? Let's cut off his eyelids. Like, huh? Yeah, I like that.
That sounds good.
Like,
Yo, think about it. You had to meditate on that. That just doesn't come to the human mind.
Right.
I mean, they thought it the most gruesome torture. Yo, if we cut his eyelids, he can't sleep. He don't want to talk to him. He's not gonna sleep.
Right.
And then let's expose his eye to the sun. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, sounds. Ooh, yeah. So it can make him blind.
That's another level of thinking right there.
Right. Let's get some more. In honor of our brothers and sisters who are being killed by this man, and he believes in his mind he's gonna get salvation despite his evil. Because a lot of you Negroes out there, a lot of y'all have a slave mentality. Even some of you who I get a lot of simple asinine comments on the comment board about the information being brought out. Brother, talk about things don't line up. I said, bro, this is part 12. What do you mean things don't line up? You only watched part 12, things don't line up. Did you watch part 1? Okay, I watched part 1, doesn't line up. Did you watch part 1 to 10? So a lot of people, whether it be heathen or Israelite, heathen-minded Israel, which is the same thing in my opinion, have a slave mentality where this kumbaya nonsense where y'all believe in your mind that democracy is going to be in the kingdom. Democracy is an illusion. We are not in a democracy. We are in a monarchy. I don't know what world you're living in. And it's going to be another monarchy again, Christ's monarchy.
That's
You
right.
understand? It's going to be that again. So, real quick, let's get Psalm 68, verse 23. Psalm 68, verse 23.
The book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 23.
Yeah.
That thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thy enemies.
See that? You see that says? That your foot may be dipped in the blood of your enemies. That's the Lord's promise. Get 112 and 8. Same book.
The book of Psalms, chapter 112, verse 8. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies.
See that? The scripture say until we see the desire. Read it again.
His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies.
Right.
That's right.
Give 59 verse 10. Same book. 58 verse 10.
Hey, Dick, when you're at it, man, don't forget 149.
Oh yeah.
And 137.
Just let them come out. Let the spirit
Bring it
flow.
out, that's right.
58 and 10.
Psalm chapter 58, verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
See?
Damn.
That sounds so good. That's not sound good. See, so y'all all this, the Kawan Charles, the Philando Castiles, the Trayvon Martins, y'all gonna pay for these things. It's not gonna be you gonna just get the kingdom and all that's gonna be swept under the rug. All those bodies built under Manhattan. Right. I didn't even know that those many bodies like that. I've been to I went to that exhibit the Bishop showed last night on the African burial ground. We went there. We went there and filmed the documentary there. We didn't complete it. We're gonna do it again. And start with the show. We're gonna We're gonna revise it. But we visited the African burial ground exhibit, and they found children's bones worn down to the nub as early as 2, not 5, 2 years old. Bones worn down from all the weight and carrying. They work 20 hours a day. 20 hours. They got 4 hours break. The horses had more of a break than them. You're going to just say, oh, I repent, I'm sorry, and get the kingdom with us? No. You must be out your mind. No. Read that verse again, please.
So Psalms 58, verse 10?
Yeah.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 10. It says, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
It says the righteous shall rejoice when they see the vengeance. See, another word for vengeance is justice.
Right.
Payback.
That's the word for vengeance.
The big
it's
payback.
Justice. That's what vengeance is. It is justice. Negroes don't want the white man to say, I'm sorry, I'll be good to y'all. Y'all think that's justice. That's not justice. Justice is payback. That's something about James Brown. I was on point. The big payback. That's what the Lord talks about. All throughout the scripture. That is what justice is. Justice is vengeance. Reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. That's what justice is. Negroes and Hispanics, y'all haven't learned what justice is yet, but you're going to learn. You will learn it. What else I wanted? I wanted, I want Psalms on. I might have Psalms already lined up. Let me see. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get Psalms.
What do you want?
Psalms 149.
Psalms 149, verse 1. Praise ye the Lord. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints. Mm-hmm. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp.
Let's sing songs. Let's dance. Have a good time.
For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people.
In his people. Go ahead.
He will beautify the meek with salvation.
The meek is us. Go ahead with salvation. Go ahead.
Let the saints be joyful in glory.
The glory goes back to the kingdom. Go ahead.
Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
In the kingdom.
Let the high praises of God be in their mouth.
The word of God.
And a two-edged sword in their hand.
And a two-edged sword in our hand.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
See? To execute vengeance upon the nations. It don't say execute love and peace and harmony with the nations.
Or forgiveness.
It says execute vengeance.
That's right.
Vengeance upon the nations. Go ahead.
And punishments upon the people.
And punishments upon the people. Punishments upon the people. Go ahead.
To bind their kings with chains.
To bind their trumps with chains.
And their nobles with fetters of iron.
To bind their George Washingtons with chains. To bind their Bidens with yokes of iron.
Right.
Their Prince Henry Williams.
Hey, don't forget Kamala.
Oh, Kamala also. Her too.
That's right.
Because she's not us. You simple black people. She ain't us. That woman is Mystique. I call her Mystique Harris. Because her nationality changes all the time. She's black. She's Indian. She's half white. She's half porcupine. I don't know what she is. Can of soup. And y'all fall for it.
She's a mutt.
Go ahead.
To execute upon them
to execute what?
To execute upon them.
To execute upon them. To execute upon them. Who's the them? The heathens. Back in the verse above. Go ahead.
The judgment written.
What did Christ say? The scripture cannot be broken. That's what Christ said. The scripture cannot be broken. Read on.
Praise ye the Lord.
And we give all praise to the Lord for that.
Sorry. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
Right, he says, this honor of executing judgment have all his saints.
That's right.
Have all his saints. So now.
Sorry, can I just get one?
Yeah.
Since we're in the spirit of, Hanukkah,
Right.
tis the season.
Right.
Since we're in the spirit of Maccabees, let me add on to it. Ezekiel 25, verse 14.
Right, I had that written out. I had that too. I forgot.
Oh,
yep.
Deacon, go ahead, do the honors.
No, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. I just want to get a piece of the,
Oh,
I just
my
want to get a piece of
gosh.
the bloodshed too. You know what I'm saying? Talking
get that.
God talk. Come on, Jess, give it to me. Let's go.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse
14.
And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my
You
people
see that?
Israel.
God says, I'm going to lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. So for all you churchgoers, all you Christians out there saying God's love, no, there's going to be judgment. And the judgment, we sitting around marching. No, the Most High says, don't worry about it. Waiting upon me until I rise up against the prey. And the way God's going to rise up against the prey, he's going to use us to execute vengeance. That's true justice.
Right.
That's true judgment. The hell, we don't want the, you know what? Let the cops go. Let them enjoy the kingdom because the judgment coming to this country is going to be far worse than them being in prison. We talking about eyelids being taken out. We talking about your eyes. We talking about your veins. Listen, we going to do some crazy God level stuff. We going to
That's
take your
right.
veins while you're still sitting there. We going to deplete your blood while you're still standing up.
Dang.
We going to put your eyes in the back of your head.
Bring it out.
We gonna take out each hair follicle out of your head. You know what I'm saying? We gonna take your guts out. We gonna take your esophagus out.
Brothers
You
ain't
know what I'm
thinking on
saying?
that level, you know
we
what I mean?
gonna take your large intestine and small intestines out. And then keep you alive.
Damn, Cap.
God talk.
God talk. Keep going.
And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger.
When God was angry, when he just spoke to us alone, the mountains crumbled. The lightning struck. Fire, there's earthquakes. Listen, we don't know the level of God's anger. God's anger is when the whole world was destroyed by water. That's God's anger.
Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. 5 cities are destroyed. 5.
God's anger. Talking about God's plan, we should do a song, God's anger. Hey, Abaddon. What's Abaddon? We're going to do that. God's anger. God's anger.
Oh, yeah,
It's gonna come out like that, Cat?
Just make
Yeah.
sure.
Cat, it's gonna come out like that?
Just make sure Abaddon sings it.
Wait.
Nah, D, we got it.
Whoa.
Don't do this, Cap. Don't do this.
Okay,
Cap.
I'm sorry.
You finished with that?
No,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
And according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
He said, they shall know my vengeance, say the Lord God.
Right. Not ours, his.
His.
I got one more for you.
Oh,
It says they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fear. Means we're gonna act according to God's anger, not our anger.
Nope.
The Most High is gonna put His anger in us to execute the judgments written in Psalms 149.
Oh, anger, we're going to feel sorry.
Yeah, our anger's garbage.
Yeah.
The Most High said, no, you need a push. Let me help you. Like the movie, what was it, Dark Knight? Sandy is like gravity. On these is a little push. Most High gonna push us. Right. No, you ain't angry enough. Let me put the anger in you.
Hey, Dickie, we see them bleed. They say, you need a Band-Aid?
Let me make us crazy.
You be like, that's enough, that's enough.
There's a term they called blood drunk. That's gonna happen.
Woo.
What you got? Psalm 137?
Nah, man, Jeremiah 51 and 20.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
your
20.
cap. See, your nigga's gonna feel sorry. I feel bad. Look at the little girl. Oh, she's bleeding.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapon of war.
And that's what Cap was saying earlier. The Most High is going to use us to lay the vengeance upon the heathens. So he says we are his battle axe and weapons of war. We don't
For with thee will I break in pieces the nations.
see that? With us, it's going to break in pieces the other nations. So that's love right there. Go ahead.
And with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
See that? All these kingdoms are going to be destroyed by the hand of God's people, Israel.
That's it. And then keep going.
Verse 21.
And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
So that means that even the chariots, we're going to break them in pieces. So we're going to go walk right through them.
That goes back to that goes into their tanks. That goes into their weapons of war, their vehicles. Destroy all of that stuff.
With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman.
Okay. See, men and women. Good.
And with thee will I break in pieces old and young.
And that's exactly what they did to us when you were in Deuteronomy 28. A fierce countenance that show no love, no respect.
Favor to the young, the
to
old,
the young
to the
and the
young.
old.
Right.
So we're going to do unto them the same thing they did unto us. Justice, payback.
And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid.
You heard?
Keep going. Yeah, 23, last verse.
I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock.
He said, with thee. I'll break in pieces with you. God gonna be with us doing that.
Damn.
Yeah.
And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers.
That's it. 23. That was excellent. That's freaking excellent. So,
I think you got that out of our system.
yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Let's get some more. Let's get some more. Let's get what's we got? Meanwhile, let's go to meanwhile. Let's go to meanwhile. Let the season Christ again, page 45. Meanwhile, we're going to read all the way to page 47. And did not forget on page 47. Meanwhile, yep, right there.
Meanwhile, the Roman fleet had won another victory, but had suffered a serious defeat at Japana. 249. Worn out almost equally, the two nations rested for 9 years.
So Roman and Carthage, Roman us, we fought a lot. We took a break. Go ahead.
But while in those years, Carthage did nothing, relying upon the genius of Hamilcar. A number of Roman citizens voluntarily presented to the state a fleet of 200 men of war, carrying 60,000 troops.
So we got lazy. We got complacent. Rome was still arming up to fight us. Go ahead.
This new armada, sailing secretly, caught the Carthaginian fleet unprepared at the Aegean Isles off the west coast of Sicily, and so overwhelmed it that Carthage sued for peace.
We lost. We had to wave the white flag. We lost. Go ahead.
Carthaginian Sicily was surrendered to Rome.
Carthaginian what?
Sicily.
Carthaginian Sicily. Sicily is what? That's South Italy. Sicily is south. It's like a boot, I think. Like a boot, I think. South Italy. We had that. We had South Italy on lock. All right. That's your Southern Italians, Sicilians. All right. That's another topic. But we was up in there for a while.
Yes, sir.
And you know what Jake does when they're
I've
around.
seen it for myself.
Yeah, when they're around.
When they lay around.
Brothers who traveled over there.
I've been to Italy.
They had fun there. So a few,
tell.
not all, but a few of these Sicilians, a lot of them that hate niggas, you niggas too.
And Deke, there's a saying in the world with the Italian, you want to get them pissed off, just mention them, they're the remnants of black people in Italy.
Right.
From
right,
Sicily.
Right.
They'll get real mad.
Right. So this is the beginning, right?
Basically, you're calling them a nigga.
A nigga, right.
Wait, Dickie, you said Sicily is in South Italy, right?
South Italy.
You notice everywhere the Israelites go,
Always the South.
it's always the South.
Always
if
the South.
If you realize it, India, South India.
Yep.
Spain,
South
South Spain. Everywhere we go, it's always the South. Down south.
I don't know what it's about South. Atlanta, I don't know what it's about South.
We migrate up north.
Yeah, we migrate up north. We always stop in the South, work our way up. It's
Weird.
weird. Yeah. So go ahead.
The Carthaginian Sicily was surrendered to Rome. An annual indemnity of 440 talents was pledged to Rome for 10 years, and all Carthaginian restrictions on Roman trade were withdrawn.
Right. So we had to comply to their rules now at this point. Go ahead.
The war had lasted nearly 24 years and had brought Rome so near to bankruptcy
They weren't broke fighting us. Go ahead.
that its currency was debased 83%.
The money lost value. Go ahead. 83%.
But it had proved the irresistible tenacity of the Roman character and the superiority of an army composed of free men over mercenaries.
Which is our army. Our army is full of mercenaries. Rome is devoted to their people. Carthage is devoted to the money. That's what he's saying here. The mercenaries are paid soldiers. Rome was dedicated to the betterment of their people. We were dedicated to the betterment of our own pockets. That was the pro and con of Carthage. Go ahead.
seeking the greatest booty for the least blood.
Right. Go ahead.
Carthage was now to be all but destroyed by its own greed.
By its own greed. So Carthage was now to be all but destroyed by its own greed. What? Now, remember we read it before. I think it was last week. I mentioned revanchism. Revanche. Going means revenge. This is going to explain what it meant by during Hamilcar's time. there was a revanche, a situation of revanche or revanchism that took place amongst us. Watch, read on.
Negroes.
Right, I said Negroes. Watch, go ahead.
It had withheld for some time the pay of its mercenaries, even of those who had served Hamilcar well.
Right, so the Carthaginian government withdrew money or didn't pay the soldiers. Go ahead.
They poured into the city and demanded their money.
Yo, we want our money. No, Jake is give me my money. We fought for the Romans, fought for you. We're mercenaries. Give us our money. Even those who fought with Hamilcar weren't getting paid. He was. Go ahead.
And when the government temporized and tried to disperse them, they broke into mad revolt.
They got pissed. Go ahead.
Carthage subject peoples, taxed beyond endurance during the war, joined the uprising, and the women of Libya sold their jewels to finance revolution. 20,000 mercenaries and rebels, led by Matho, Matho, a Libyan freeman, and Spendius, a Campanian slave, laid siege to Carthage at a time when hardly a soldier was there to defend it.
So our own people start to fight against each other because there was a whole revolt. Carthage was in shambles. They was being taxed by Rome. Carthage was pretty much in the decline. People were getting paid. There was a whole mass revolt of our people fighting each other now. Remember, Carthage's colonies was from Libya all the way to Tunis and Mauritania. That whole area was ours, and also part of South Spain, well, some South Italy. Go ahead.
The rich merchants trembled for their lives and appealed to Hamilcar to save them. Torn between affection for his mercenaries and his city, Hamilcar organized an army of 10,000 Carthaginians, trained them, led them forth, and raised the siege.
He had to choose between fighting his own men or fighting for the government. So I had to fight my own men because they're gonna overthrow the land. Go ahead.
The defeated mercenaries retreated into the mountains, cut off the hands and feet of Jesco.
What do you do?
Cut off the hands and feet of Jesco,
See what Hamilcar did? Cut their hands and feet off. Go ahead.
a Carthaginian general, and 700 other prisoners, broke their legs and then threw the still living victims into an indiscriminate grave.
Buried them alive. Hamilcar was a monster. Hamilcar buried him. That's what happens. You cause problems. You start killing niggas. He ain't playing. Our forefathers didn't play games with no Negroes. He didn't play games. Go ahead.
Hamilcar maneuvered 40,000 of the rebels into a defiled and blocked all exits so well that they began to starve.
And he starved them to death. Go ahead.
They ate their remaining captives,
They ate each other. Made them eat each other. Go ahead.
then their slaves.
Then they ate their own slaves. Go ahead.
At last, they sent Spendius to beg for peace. Hamilcar crucified Spendius and had hundreds of prisoners trampled to death under elephants' feet.
Yo,
Yeah, I love this man.
No
Yo.
surrender.
yo,
Yeah, I love this man.
yo, what kind of mind did we have back then? We lost everything.
Hamilcar was a genius.
Cap, remember you said because there was no TV.
Yeah.
No TV.
And you know, this is the reason why every time you see it, we have a black leader risen up for the people, you still gotta kill them.
Right.
Because he knows that he don't want those type of mindset to come back to his society. Be like, yo, we gotta get rid of them. You know?
Can I bring something out, Deacon?
Yeah.
Give me Revelations 11, verse 10.
Bring it on.
Yo, and this is why Esau is so brutal towards us. They're still holding on to what we did to them in the past.
It's a grudge.
It's a grudge. That's what it
But
is.
this was to our own people. We were doing this too.
I know, but still.
Yeah, but our
We-
mindset.
but the
mind.
Yeah.
But remember also, you read earlier that they almost got bankrupt fighting us. So they know what kind of warriors we were. So they know we're not weak.
And our fathers always say in the 60s and 70s, they're afraid. I think it's Stokely Carmichael when he says, "You guys are afraid." I think what's him when he says, "You guys are afraid
Of revolution.
of what we would do to you."
Oh yeah, white guilt, their conscience. Yeah.
This is the reason why. It's Revelation 11, verse 10.
The book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another.
And that's what we was the gifts during the Christmas. They rejoice over us being conquered. Them conquering the Israelites. That's why you have in Lamentations chapter 2, verse 14, when it says, "Yo, at last we have finally seen the day. This is the day that we have searched for."
Yep.
So the nations were looking for the day. They're waiting for us to fall. They say, "Yeah, once we get these niggas in captivity, it's over. We're gonna keep them. Because if we don't keep them in captivity, yo, what will they do to us? We feared what they would do for us. No, it was Louis Farrakhan. He says he was saying that your guilt is towards what will your guilt is.
Yeah, Farrakhan said that.
Farrakhan says your guilt is what will we do to you if we were in power. You're afraid that we would do to you as you have done to us if we ever gain power.
Right.
And Farrakhan, what he didn't realize is we are going to do, and we're going to do worse. Right.
Because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
So these two prophets, even though Hamilcar, you have Spartacus, you have Hannibal, they weren't righteous men
The
of
Spartans.
the Bible. The Spartans, they weren't really righteous men,
Right.
but they're still a part of the two prophets. They're still a part of the nation.
Yes.
So if we're doing this to our own people, what do we do to Esau?
Yeah. What do we do?
Sorry, Deacon.
Go back. Where we at? It's all right.
We had the mercenaries.
Yeah, go ahead.
The mercenaries tried to fight their way out, but were cut to pieces. Martha was captured and was made to run through the streets of Carthage while the citizens beat him with thongs and tortured him till he died.
Right, because remember, it was him, Mato, and Spendius that were the ones that caused this uprising, caused all this nonsense. So they got the business. They got it later on.
This war of the mercenaries lasted 40 months, from 241 BC to 237 BC, and was by far, said Polybius, the most bloody and impious war in history. When the conflict was over, Carthage found that Rome had occupied Sardinia. Carthage protested, and Rome declared war. The desperate Carthaginians brought peace only by paying Rome an additional 1,200 talents and surrendering Sardinia and Corsica.
Right. You know what's crazy about this part, about Hamilcar dealing with Negroes? You notice, even on the comment board I'm watching right now, you got Negroes on there posting that Esau was the same color as King David.
Right.
This is why we put niggas to death, because y'all stupid as hell. Y'all retarded. That's why we put y'all to death, because it's like, here we are teaching class, you're coming with nonsense. Esau was not, well, I don't even care. He was not the color of David at all. That's nonsense. I did a class recently showing what ruddy means. I mean, it goes back to the word brown. Okay, so go back to that class I did. What was it? The color of God? Is that one of the people about ruddy?
Yes, sir. I think
Yeah, I want to go back to that class and see what the word ruddy means.
Episode
it means
3.
brown. Episode 3, I believe. Go to that one and watch it again. Stop being retarded, or we're gonna just remove you. Now, where we at? We may judge. Go ahead.
Black people.
Yeah, black people. Go ahead.
We may judge the fury of Hamilcar at this treatment of his country. He proposed to his government that it should provide him with troops and funds to reestablish the power of Carthage in Spain. As a stepping stone to the attack upon Italy, the landowner aristocracy opposed the plan, fearing further war.
Right. So the governors said, listen, no, Hamilcar, we don't want you to fight Italy. You'll make things worse. The aristocracy was the governing powers. Go ahead. The aristocrats. The aristocrats. Go ahead.
The mercantile middle class, resenting the loss of their foreign markets and ports, supported it.
Right. So the middle class said the same thing. Yeah, man, you're going to mess up my money. Nah, stop that. Go ahead.
As a compromise, Hamilcar was given a modest contingent with which he crossed to Spain.
It gave him a little bit of money. Here you go. Here's a little expedition. Go ahead. Be prosperous. Here's some money. Go ahead and do what you want to do. Go ahead.
He recaptured the cities whose allegiance to Carthage had lapsed during the war. Built up
his army.
His army with native recruits, financed and equipped it with the products of Spain's mines.
Spain's what?
Mines.
So he financed and equipped his army with products of Spain's mines. Spain was very, very wealthy. That land was very rich with gold and silver.
Some gems there.
Okay, keep that in mind. Spain's mines. He equipped his army because he had money. Hamilcar was a genius. So the government gave him enough money to do this expedition. He went to Spain, got some more money to finance a better army to go against Rome again. Because remember, when we lost, Rome was taxing us heavy, giving us a hard time. Continue.
And died while leading a charge against a Spanish tribe.
And he died while leading a charge against a Spanish tribe. Go ahead.
He left behind him in the camp his son-in-law Hasdrubal and his sons Hannibal, Hasdrubal, and Mago, his lion's brood.
He called his sons his lion's brood.
Damn.
His baby lions. His lion's brood. Go ahead.
The son-in-law was chosen commander, and for 8 years governed wisely, winning the operation of the Spaniards in building near the silver mines a great city.
Building near the what?
The silver mines a great city.
That's in Spain. The silver mines. He built near the silver mines, a great city. We mined a lot of silver from there. Watch this.
Known to Rome as Novo Carthago or New Carthage, the Cartagena of today.
Well, today is a place called Cartagena. Cartagena is Carthage. Okay? There's a place today called, I believe it was called Cartagena today. Named after Carthage. New Carthage. Nova Carthago. All right? Cartagena, Spain. All right? Cartagena, they say Cartagena, Cartagena, same thing. All right? Go ahead.
When
so
he...
we named it Nova Carthage or New Carthage or Cartagena of today. Hold on a second. What do I stop at? I said stop at... Keep going.
Yes, sir. When he was assassinated, the army elected as its leader Hamilcar's eldest son, Hannibal.
So Hasdrubal was assassinated. Go ahead.
Then 26 years of age, before leaving Carthage, his father had brought him a boy of 9 to the altar of Baal-Hamon and had bidden him swear that someday he would revenge his country against Rome. Hannibal swore and did not forget.
Hannibal swore and did not forget. Give me Sirach 30 now.
Damn. He wasn't playing video game.
No.
Nah.
To promise me you'll avenge me, your family, against Rome. And he did not forget.
Like Officer Liam posted something on the group yesterday about this brother and his girl was arguing, and she took his PS5
and threw it in the damn
and
train
threw it
track.
in the train. He jumped on the track seconds before the train arrived.
Came running in on 14th Street
That's
in
crazy.
Manhattan.
Jump and get that damn PS5 and run after the girl to fight with the girl.
That's how Negroes
And
think.
meanwhile, 26-year-old Hannibal was running a country.
We're not the same.
Nah, not at all.
Our forefathers ruled at a young age.
Yeah.
Most of them ruled at a young age.
So but it says here, then at 26 years of age, but it says here he his father had brought him a boy of 9. Keep that in mind, a boy of 9. Keep that in mind. All right? Keep that in mind.
Sirach,
Yeah, Sirach 30 verse 1.
chapter 30, verse 1. He that loveth his son causes him often to feel the rod,
I mean, chastises him, disciplines him. Go ahead.
that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Yo, he that teaches his son does what?
Grieveth the enemy.
That's why they remove fathers out the households. That's why they target the men. A lot of you black women talk about you the victim. Yeah, you're a victim, but you nowhere near a victim of your as your men.
Right.
Nowhere near. That's why you act the way you behave, because you are victims of a fatherless house. That's why you behave the way you behave. You act all simple and retarded out here, because there ain't no father at home. So y'all like, we're doing victim, women this, women that. But ain't no black man at home. Ain't no father in your house. So you thotting around, talking about wop with your wop. That's a fatherless house. If the father is there, his brain is absent.
Damn.
He's weak as hell. He's B-made under your mama. So he's still a fatherless house. So the scriptures say that when the son teaches his son, it grieves the enemy. So they're going to target the men. Target the men, break the men, destroy the man. That's what you do. You want to destroy a nation? Destroy the man first. That's why in Egypt, what did the Pharaoh say to do? Kill off all the males. He didn't say kill no females, just kill the males. Get rid of the men. Get rid of them. They're a problem. And keep their women. Likewise today, Esau says that Esau, the red man, red race, white man, not no brown people. Esau says today the same thing today. Yo, get rid of these niggas. Make them act like, make them boys, make them childish, make them juvenile. So they can't raise kids if they still have a kid's mind. And that's what happens. It's the same principle today, indirectly. Read again.
Sirach 30, verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Because he's raising his son to be like him. So he's proud of his son. Raise his son to be proud of. Go ahead.
Though his father die, yet Yet he is as though he were not dead.
Right, like Hamilcar Hannibal. Hannibal was the exact replica of his father. The identical twin of his father. In behavior, skill, wisdom, all the above. It's like he never died. Go ahead.
For he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
See, that's what Hamilcar. Hamilcar made sure to raise sons just like himself. Hannibal was that one.
His lion's
brood.
Right.
His lion's brood. Go ahead.
While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Hamilcar said, promise me you'll avenge me against Rome. It says his son never forgot. That's why the father must raise our sons to not forget what happens to us on this side either. Teach your sons that this man is the devil the Bible speaks of. Esau is the white man the Bible speaks of. He is the devil the Bible speaks of. You teach your sons that. Don't teach your sons that Esau is a brown man, because that's nonsense. All right, read on.
Verse 4. Verse 5. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him.
Because he saw that he did a good job raising his son to be like him, to avenge him against his enemies. Go ahead, but he's gone.
And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
He died with no regrets, his son, because he successfully raised a son like himself. Go ahead.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
What did he leave behind him?
An avenger against his enemies.
What was Hannibal?
An avenger against his enemies.
Exactly. Hannibal was an avenger of his father's enemies, of his people's enemies, of our enemies. Go ahead.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
And he was respectful to his father's friends and military. And they respected Hannibal. That's all I want. Now, let's go back to where we were at.
And that's why, like you said, Deacon, it's important to have fathers in a black house. And that's why they put Section 8, welfare, food stamps, WIC, all these assistances and government assistance in place to keep the black father out of the house, so to weaken the son, to make him effeminate, docile, so that he would never avenge the enemies. He would learn to hate himself and kill people that look like him.
Esau has trained our women to pride themselves in trying to be men. And what happens is women says, I could do bad by myself. You can't do a damn thing by yourself, because 70% of the prison population was raised by you women.
Yep.
70% of the prison population was raised by you single mothers and grandmas. So you don't have a success rate in raising no men. So cut out this delusion of raising men and doing well at it. No, you're not. Even my own mother, I speak for myself. My mother told me, your father's gone. She said, I can't raise you to be a man. So she put me around my male cousins. My male cousins had both parents. She put me with them. So I learned parenthood with them.
She actually
She
understood.
She understood.
She had the mind.
She had some sense.
But yeah, some of these sisters don't have that
Right,
mind.
they feel, I can do it by myself. No, you cannot do it by yourself. Thank you. You can't do it by yourself.
You guys are all right today. Yeah, who's on the thing today?
That's a new one.
Okay,
Man,
you're
you're
all
better,
right,
man.
man.
That's because they're awake.
Yeah, you recover yourself, man. Maybe the braids.
Got
or
a bunch of
something.
incense around him or something.
Right. So again, this goes back to, like my mom was saying, I can't raise you to be a man, so I'll put you around your male cousins. I'll put you around them. There was like, 6 of them? There was a lot of them. And they had both their parents. You understand? They weren't like the greatest examples in the world, but it was still, I was around males.
Right.
You understand? They had a sister also, like one sister, but it was still, she said, be around the boys. I can't raise you to be a man. You be around the boys. But you women, the ego now, their ego was so huge now. Oh, I could do it on my own. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, because the scriptures talk about women had 7 sons. It's possible, but it's difficult.
But we also don't know if the father was there and when he died, too.
Right, we don't know how long, but she said she endured education. So he obviously passed at a point where she had to do it on her own, because she said she endured the years of education. So it's possible that she, in fact, did raise her 7 sons. It's not impossible. It's there.
But at the same time, though, remember, she did it, but she was around righteous people.
Right.
At that time, we was ruling in Israel.
Right.
We had the elders was at the gate. So even though she was a widow, there was
She had some form of help.
Right.
Right, there was
the
some kind
system
of-
was there to help her around.
Yes, we looked at each other back then.
Right.
Right.
There's a book. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Now I was this time it's totally different.
Right.
We're
very
not
different.
empowered.
There's no unit. Like the book Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr. Right? Lerone
Yes, sir.
Bennett Jr.
Lerone Bennett Jr.
I think it's page 100 and something, where he talks about how in slavery, how there was. Do we have the book over here?
No, sir.
love
But I
to
think
use
it's
that
page
pen.
137.
He mentions about how the unit of how during slavery there was a family unit. There was no baby mamas. There's no sleeping around. The man married the woman, took care of his kids, even in the fields, working 20 hours, toiling in the sun with the cotton, resting your hands up. They still had a concept of responsibility, raise my kids, married the mother of my kids. That mindset, even though we were destroyed, that mindset was still there. Now we're worse than that. We're actually better. We were actually better minded and changed than we were now, I mean, honestly.
True, that's true.
We were actually better off in the fields
Right.
because we had a sense of who we were and what condition was. Now niggas is got their certain privileges. They think they free now.
And Deacon, like you said, you're right. That was heavy because we used to work together to escape from the
Right,
government.
right.
We knew we was brothers. You know?
Or work together to survive.
Right. I'm saying our main goal was we got to get freedom from the
Right,
government.
right.
Hey, Deacon, also in that same book, which you mentioned right now, they also said that in that same time period, if you did sleep around with a sister or whatever, the community came together and made sure you married her.
Right,
So you wasn't getting off,
right.
making any baby moms.
And if you look at the scriptures in terms of strong role model, I'll start from the beginning. Christ and his father. Christ says he was always sitting near him, rejoicing. And remember that? In Proverbs
Yeah,
chapter
Proverbs
8.
8.
Always rejoicing before the Most High. He says, I was there. When the mountains was created, I was there. He was there watching his father's every move. So that's why he did a blueprint. Father did the blueprint. Christ made everything out. But when he came on the earth, he said, don't you know that I'm about my father's business? Why? Because what? He left one like himself. He trained them up. Same thing with the Maccabees. With Mattathias, when he died, what happened? His sons were just like him.
They took over.
That's why the Esau knows having a father figure is in terms of the black community or Israelite community is extremely important. And they fear that.
And dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yes.
Even go to the 70s. If they had to kill off, you had Fred Hamptons, you have the Huey P. Newtons, Martin Luther Kings, Malcolm X. You think these guys were old when they got into, and became activists? No, these guys were 18, 17,
20s.
18, 19, 20. Martin Luther King's in his 20s. Malcolm X, they were young people. So we can't, it's different now.
Right, very different now. Very different
He should
now.
make sure of that.
He made sure to
made sure
erase
of
that.
that. Yeah.
Any black Messiah that comes up will be because we raise him up.
Because if you look at it, right, like all the older singers that used to sing song about some kind of like morality,
Right.
majority of them are dead. And then now we got a bunch of new R&B singers, new artists, and they're not talking about anything.
Anything.
You know what I'm saying? Now the new generation that's coming up have no kind of role models.
None.
None whatsoever.
So we read earlier, as we established the colony, we called it New Carthago or New Carthage or Cartagena, right? So we had a habit of when we established ourselves, we called it new. Give me Revelation 3 and 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in a temple of my God.
Being a leading figure, one that upholds and strengthens, a pillar. Go ahead.
And he shall go no more out.
Need not go out into captivity, into slavery again. Go ahead.
And I will write upon him the name of my God.
And at that time, when he overcomes, I will give you my name. Go ahead.
And the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem.
Which is New Jerusalem. New Jerusalem. Okay, go ahead.
which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name.
And I'll write upon him my new name. The Messiah will give you his new name as well. We'll have the Father's name and the Son's new name. Now, the point is that it says New Jerusalem. All right, now watch this. Give me Revelation 21, verse 1 to 2.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
They were what?
Were passed away.
Were destroyed. Were destroyed, removed out the way. Go ahead.
And there was no more sea.
Nations is gone. That's the sea. Go ahead.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem,
New Jerusalem. Go ahead.
coming down from God out of heaven.
Because the nations in Psalms 149 are going to build up those walls. Isaiah 60, Isaiah 14 is going to be so glorious, it's going to be as if it fell from heaven itself. See, we're going to give you guys jobs. See, we're merciful people. We're not that bad. We're going to give you some jobs. You're going to have some employment. Go ahead.
Say that again. Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. All right. So now let's get what else I want. Get me 2 Peter 3:13. 2 Peter 3:13.
You got me meditating, man. Well, we don't have to work. We don't have to worry about living check to check.
Nope.
Whether or not we're going to have food on our table.
The stupid Negroes making dumb comments. They'll all be dead.
Stimulus check.
Right.
Yeah, playing around for stimulus check.
Right.
Damn. Bastards. You got me.
Gotta get Cap, man.
Yo, you got me going now, man. Why you do that to me,
They're
man?
playing with your dog.
They playing my emotions,
gotta
man.
talk about it, Cap. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Cat,
man, you want
Cat,
to
man,
make...
you gotta forget about that stimulus check.
No, I'll
man.
never
Yeah.
forget, man. Hey, if you want to make donations, when you make donations today, if you want to donate
Oh,
to
my
my
God.
stimulus, if the white man can't give me the stimulus, you could donate to, Captain Joel's stimulus funds.
Stimulus substitutes.
I'm hungry. And you got the power to change this.
Oh man.
I'm broke. I'm broke. And you got the power.
Power to change that.
You
Man.
got the power. He was so adamant. Like he was going through it that time when he did that role.
Yeah.
I saw it in his spirit.
He really meant that thing, man.
Yo.
I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
Hey, look at. He said, "Hey, you got the power to change this. Israel. You want to donate to
Oh, man.
NYC.NewJersey.org. When you donate for our books, also to my book fund, on top of that, you could put an extra donation.
Extra one.
Yeah, for Captain Joel's stimulus funds. I need help, Israel. I need help. The white man's the devil. Oh, Deacon, what do you want?
2 Peter 3:13. Sorry, Cap. Cap got
No,
lost.
that's Officer LaQuat's fault. He know how that get me. I got trigger words. 2 Peter 3:13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth.
Revelation 20 and verse 1. We just read that. 21 verse 1. 21 verse 1. Yep, verse 1 and 2. Go ahead.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Within dwelleth righteousness. We look for new heavens and new earth. So calling things new was something common with us. It'll be new again. We'll have new Jerusalem again. Get Isaiah 65 verse 17.
Isaiah what?
65:17. Everything that John was shown, Isaiah was shown just as much.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17. For, behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind.
We're going to forget about it. We're going to forget about this captivity. This is an old heaven. This is an old earth. We're going to have a new heaven, new earth. We're going to forget all of that. We're going to be so happy we're going to forget everything.
Yo, Duke, you hit my spirit right now.
Read the next verse. Read the next verse. Yep.
But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy.
Our people will be a joy. We're going to be happy, the happiest nation on the earth. Get chapter 66 and verse 22. One more.
Isaiah 66, verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain.
So shall our seed and our name remain forever.
Damn.
Forever. We're going to be a nation forever.
All praises, man.
So the hell with New Carthage. That was temporary. You know, the second temple that was built, that was temporary. We're going to have our kingdom. It's going to stand and be built forever.
All praises.
No more problems, no more missing children, no more big mouth women and simple-minded men. That's done. It's going to be straight kingdom all day. This kingdom, joy and happiness all day. No more Biden, no more simple eating, simple voting, all that crap. It's going to be finished. It's going to be over.
Amen.
No more of that.
There will be no President Trump.
None of that.
There's no vaccines, no diseases.
None of that. Let's go back to page 47 now. It was untimely victory. It was an untimely victory.
You touching the spirit, Deacon.
Yeah, all praises. I'm trying to get myself. I gotta work today, man. I'm trying to get myself a boost.
My spirit was down today.
I'm getting depressed.
Yo, Deacon, man, you have revived me.
All praises, Cat.
You know what I'm saying? I watch war movies when I go home.
Word.
It was an untimely victory. Page 47. It was an untimely victory.
That's page 47.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the page. Go down. Right there. We're gonna stop at hold on.
You got to be a fool to leave this truth right now. Right. Yeah, what else is out there? It's literally nothing out there. Literally nothing out there but diseases
And death.
and mass.
That's it.
Now, before it was herpes and AIDS and all that. Now it's coronavirus, herpes,
kind of
AIDS,
stuff.
and diseases. So what do you got to lose? What do you got to lose?
You don't know that they can't.
You got no jobs.
Yep. Your schools are bad.
Your schools are bad.
Your neighborhoods are bad.
Your neighborhoods are bad. Now you got no food. You got no jobs. Literally no jobs.
You're burning your stores down because you're retarded.
Yeah, you're stupid. You got no brains.
Yeah.
We gotta change that black people thing.
We're gonna change it, make it better.
Yeah, I don't like it. Black people sound like some Haitian did that.
Wow.
Wait, was
man.
it? Was it Haitian that did it?
I don't know.
Was it Levi? No. That sounded like Quad.
You're the
Maybe it was
worst,
a
man.
Haitian. Not Levi, a Haitian.
You sound like Haiti there.
Oh man, oh, horrible, man. Come on, it was an untimely victory. We're gonna stop at page 48 in Fresh Youth. Let's go. Come on.
It was an untimely victory. Had the Gauls been left unmolested for a few years, more they might have stopped Hannibal. But now all Gaul was aflame against Rome. Hannibal saw the opportunity he had longed for
Come on.
to cross Gaul with little opposition and to invade Italy with the Gallic tribes as his allies.
Right, he started getting allies to fight against Rome. Go ahead.
The Punic leader was now 28 years.
Rome is ruling over us with an iron fist, as well as other people as well. Our people scattered abroad and other nations as well. So he started gaining momentum, rebuilding again. Go ahead.
The Punic leader was now 28 years old, at his prime in body and mind. In addition to a Carthaginian gentleman's schooling in the languages, literatures, and history of Phoenicia and Greece.
This is Hannibal's education. In addition to Carthaginian gentleman's schooling in the languages, he was multilingual. He knew how to write. He knew history. Go ahead.
He had received a soldier's training through 19 years in camp.
Through 19 years of training. So from nine, that's 9, but 9 years old, 19 years, he's 28.
Damn.
So the man was groomed from young age in language, literature, history, as well as fighting. Go ahead, watch this.
No idle time.
Nope, watch this.
That's MOV right there. He had disciplined his body to hardship.
He had disciplined his body to hardship, to take beatings. He trained his body. Go ahead.
His appetite to moderation. His tongue to silence. His thought to objectivity.
He was very, very, intellectual. Go ahead.
He had
ambition. He had inspirations. He had motives. Go ahead.
He could run or ride with the swiftest, hunt or fight with the bravest. He was the first to enter the battle, says the hostile Livy, and the last to abandon the field.
First to jump in, last to leave out. Make sure everybody's safe. Make sure everybody come back alive.
Wow.
Go ahead.
The veterans loved him because in his commanding presence and piercing eyes, they saw their old leader Hamilcar return to them in fresh youth.
See? Sirach 30 verse 1 to 6. He saw Hamilcar all over again.
Ooh.
It was like seeing he never died. Hamilcar didn't even die. He's right there. Alive and well through his son.
Yo, they saw him regenerated.
Right.
They were like, damn, his father ain't dead. He's right here.
Literally right here.
He's literally right here.
Wow. So he wasn't raising up his son in football
No.
or basketball or training to be, the gamer?
Gamer.
Game tournament.
Nope.
Hoop dreams.
Yeah. No
nonsense.
sports, no entertainment, none of that. Straight war.
Yep. We're going to read on the recruits, so we're going to stop.
Man's on point today.
Go to the recruits.
You hired. Before he was,
He was about to get fired last week.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I want to call and tell you about yourself.
Yeah, last week.
But you're right, man.
Damn. Let's keep going. We got more to read. Page 49. Keep going.
The recruits liked him because he wore no distinctive dress, never rested till he had provided for his army's needs,
Damn.
and shared with them all sufferings and gains.
He was like David. David was the same way.
Right.
Took out the King David, the same thing. Go ahead.
The Romans accused him of avarice, cruelty, and treachery, for he honored no scruples in seizing supplies for his troops, punished disloyalty severely.
What'd he do?
Punished disloyalty severely.
Like Hamilcar did. We didn't play with black people. We didn't play with y'all back then. Back then, we put the foot in your behind, man. We didn't play with Negroes. He punished disloyalty severely. Our forefathers punished disloyalty severely. Severely. They didn't play games with the Negro, the black people. Go ahead.
And laid many snares for his foes. Yet we find him often merciful, always chivalrous.
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 Chivalrous. Nothing occurs.
Meaning he had manners. He was respectful.
Nothing occurs in the accounts of him, says the judicious Mommsen, which may not be justified under the circumstances and according to the international law of the times. The Romans could not readily forgive him for winning battles with his brains rather than with the lives of his men.
He was a genius, a war genius. Go ahead.
The tricks he played upon them, the skill of his espionage, the subtlety of his strategy.
The subtlety of his strategy. Espionage, the subtlety of his strategy. Go ahead.
The surprises of his tactics were beyond their appreciation until Carthage was destroyed.
The surprises of his tactics were beyond their appreciation until Carthage was destroyed. So the Romans, they had to respect him. We hate this nigga, but he's just so good. He's just nice.
26 years old.
26 years old. This guy was groomed to be a warrior. We got that other stuff you got, Jazz, that book, the other source?
Yes, sir.
Let's pull that up. Let's pull that up. Just some more detail on his upbringing.
Come on. Right here.
The middle one?
To your right, to your right.
To the right, middle one.
Right there.
We're starting at.
Though most of the youth's life was passed in the camp, his education was carefully attended to. Besides the culture belonging to Phoenicians of rank in his time, Hannibal had a good knowledge of the Greek language.
He spoke Greek. Go ahead.
He was light and firmly built in his bodily frame and was an excellent runner, a skillful rider, and a good swordsman.
We just read that, and he didn't read that part. He was a good swordsman. Go ahead.
He had remarkable powers of endurance, which enable him to hold out against fatigue, hunger, and loss of sleep.
So he what? He put his body through hardship. Go ahead.
He soon distinguished himself for his military valor and was fighting by the side of his father when the latter was slain. Okay,
Is that it?
That's it.
That's all you need? All right. That's all I need. Yeah, that's good. So that's more detail on his upbringing. All right? Dude was a monster. Dude was a monster.
What happened to us?
Niggas are born. Let's continue.
And plus GMOs.
Yeah, and GMOs and yeah.
We're not there, Cap.
Fathers were removed from the house.
Wow, we fell.
Bad.
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 It's crazy because now.
I'm sorry, not were born. Niggas were created. I'm sorry, we were created in America. That's what happened.
Right.
We were they were reinforced
Damn.
in America. Niggas always are around since Cain.
D.
What you saying, Adon?
Adon speaking.
Adon's gonna talk.
Oh, praise
The mute is speaking.
Yeah, it's good. I
everybody
keep on
stop.
hearing this, but I always keep on thinking on Colombia, which is they also got Cartagena, which is Carthage.
Nobody. Oh, that's what it means.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
man doing some
Carthage.
Spanish, brother. We done with Northern Kingdom segment, brother.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Cartagena,
saying?
Carthage in
You can leave that in the
Colombia.
past.
And that's Asher, right? Which is Asher, right? So the strategists know that. I keep on thinking on like they're it's bad to say, but they're drug lords. So they're not dumb. They go to school. They learn. The way they act is the same way that Hannibal was acting.
Right.
So like everything that I read right now, I always go back to Colombia and so forth. I'm like, damn. So they got the same spirit, but now like in evil
and
terms.
wickedness.
Right.
So Cartagena is in
what you
Colombia.
trying to
Yo,
say?
Cartagena is Colombia.
That's not a
Carthage.
coincidence because Cartagena is Asher and that's Hannibal
Yeah.
numbers.
So Hannibal's a drug dealer now.
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe
He might be.
because remember,
He wasn't holy.
Hey, he like,
because
Not Hannibal.
in the beginning,
Hannibal right
Cap,
now.
Cap,
Fucking, he's doing.
Cap, if you look at it, though, those cartel men, they're
geniuses.
ruthless.
Educated.
Yo,
They're educated and they're
know how they-
ruthless.
and
You
guess
know how
who they
they
use for transportation? Zebulon.
Right.
Asher and Zebulun.
Right,
They
work
used
together.
Asher used Zebulun for transporting their goods.
There you go.
Yo,
You know how the cartels are geniuses? When the U.S. government has to work beside them.
Right. They can't conquer them. We got
They
can't
can't
beat them.
conquer.
Join them.
So that's how you know they're on a whole nother level.
How you been eternal from Mexico all the way to damn California?
How do you break out of a
underground?
How do you break out of a prison?
Yes.
With a motorcycle and a flashlight.
Yo, how do you
waiting
build
for
a
you.
tunnel from America to the prison?
My man
Break him
Chapo.
out.
My man Chapo, man.
Yeah.
He broke out
El
of prison.
Chapo.
Out of prison, yep.
Think about the genius behind that. You see that in movies.
Right.
The evil
Right,
genius.
right.
But those kingdoms were always industrious. They were always, even Issachar, they were always, till now, always industrious and always intellectual in terms of creativity and like you said, in terms of the intellect, and even for evil, unfortunately, that as well, you know? But where we at? We're on page 48, and
In 219 BC. Is that what you
we
want?
got something else about Hannibal, about the Semitic thing?
Yes, sir.
Let's get that first. Then we'll continue where we left off.
Give me the next page.
Let's get out the way, because I don't forget it. I don't want to miss anything.
It's only one sentence.
That's fine. Just to show that he was not Ham. Where they say Phoenician, so he was Ham. So watch this.
So this is on Hannibal. The Semitic genius is grand, poetic, fierce, but is destitute of humor. We know but of one celebrated man of Semitic lineage
Of Semitic lineage. Go ahead.
that loved a jest. The Carthaginian Hannibal.
See that? So he was of Semitic lineage, not language, lineage. Meaning he was Israel, the child of Israel. He was not a Hamite. All right? He was not a Hamite. Neither was his father. All right? So now, that's all you want from me,
Yes, sir,
right?
that's it.
That's all you
We
need.
done with that.
Let that go. So let's go back to page 48 in 219.
In 219 BC, blow it up. In 219 BC, Roman agents organized in Saguntum a coup d'etat that set up a government patriotically hostile to Carthage. When the Saguntines...
The Roman agents, see that? Esau got Roman agents causing all kind of coup d'etat. They do that thing. They do that in Haiti all the time. They do that in South America all the time. Set up agents that cause to disrupt government and cause problems.
In Africa.
And cause war. And in Africa, cause war. This is a Edomite tactic that's been going on for ages. Even on the other side of the world, the Americans, Native Americans, they cause tribal wars.
Not today,
Same
SPLC.
thing. Not today, SPLC, BBC, shadow government, all that stuff. Even the movie Black Panther, Killmonger was the person they used to do those things, to destabilize governments. They call them the jackals. Go ahead.
When the Saguntines molested tribes friendly to him, Hannibal ordered them to desist. When they refused, he besieged the city. Rome protested to Carthage and threatened war. Carthage replied that since Saguntum was 100 miles south of the Ebro, Rome had no right to interfere and had, by signing an alliance with it, violated her treaty with Hasdrubal. Hannibal persisted in the siege and Rome took up arms again, never dreaming that this second Punic War was to be the most terrible in her history.
Go ahead.
Hannibal spent 8 months in subduing the Saguntines. He did not dare advance toward Italy while leaving to the Romans so excellent a port for landing in his rear. In 218, he crossed the Ebro.
The Ebro. Keep that word in mind, the Ebro. Keep that word in mind. Word's going to come to be important later on. The word, the Ebro. Go ahead. I believe so, Ebro. I think it's Ebro. We'll keep going.
Challenging fate as Caesar would at the
Rubicon.
He had an army of 50,000 infantry and 9,000 cavalry. None of them mercenaries, most of them Spaniards and Libyans. 3,000 Spaniards deserted when they learned that he planned to cross the Alps, and Hannibal released 7,000 others who
The
protested.
Spaniards are the Jakes that lived in Spain. It's not Edomites. This is Jakes that lived in Spain. Remember, Hannibal resided in Africa. So you had Israelites that resided in Spain, so they're called Spaniards. These are black Spaniards. We read earlier how in Babylon Timbuktu, Hannibal commanded his army in what? In the Hebrew language. He commanded his army in the Hebrew language, and they read Babylon Timbuktu. So this army of his is our people from different regions and different parts of the world who were oppressed by Rome in different lands that they gained power over when Carthage lost their territories, including the Gauls. The Gauls also, that was Jake as well. In fact, I think we mentioned Gauls before, a few classes ago. How that was Jake. Some of them was Jake. The
Yes,
Gauls.
sir. We did. With the Scythians.
With Scythians,
With the
right?
Scythians.
They were Gauls. You had Jake Gauls as well.
Right.
These is all Jakes here rallying together, different parts of lands that Rome was taxing and giving a hell of a time. Hannibal ran around, rallied them up, and said, "Let's fight against Rome. We all have a common enemy. We're fighting each other. Let's stop fighting each other and fight against Rome." That's what he's doing. He's gaining an army now. He's building an army now. He's building morale.
And Deacon, you know the goals were Israel too. When you look at the history, I have a book. What's the book? It's an old.
Revivis?
No.
Okay.
It's an old something about slavery for sister, Black Jake's sister. I should have brought it. I didn't think about it. But she goes into the history of Spartacus.
Okay.
Remember, Spartacus was the actual historical figure along with Crixus. These are real figures. Crixus was considered a Gaul. Remember during that time period. So yeah.
Yeah, Barcas was a Thracian.
Yeah, Thracian. So these are all Israelite slaves
Right.
that the Roman army captured and made them to slave. They made them to train them to be gladiators. So the Gauls was amongst, and the Thracians and the Gauls. Even though we're the same people, we had problems against each other.
Right.
So even in the show, they show the connection. They say, "Yo, brother," all that.
Right.
So those are all our people: the Gauls, the Thracians.
Right, Gauls, Thracians, Scythians, these are all our
Scythian,
people, the different titles, based upon the lands they live in. They were called by these titles, but it was our people. Go ahead. So the Gauls you read about earlier says the Gauls, the Gallic tribes, and as its allies, that's us. Gallic is Gaulic tribes living among these lands. Above in the page 48. Let's continue.
3,000 Spaniards deserted when they learned that he had planned to cross the Alps, and Hannibal released 7,000 others who protested against his enterprise.
3,000, you gonna do what? You gonna cross the Alps with elephants? Nah, we dipping, we out, you crazy. So 3,000 of them opted out. Go ahead.
And Hannibal released 7,000 others who protested against his enterprise as
So
impossible.
he lost 10,000 troops now. This is crazy. What you're doing is suicide. This is insane. Go ahead.
It was hard enough to force a passage through the
Pyrenees.
Pyrenees. It was hard enough to force a passage through the Pyrenees. More unexpected was the fierce resistance of some Gallic tribes, allied with Marsilius. A summer of fighting was required to reach the Rhone, and a major battle to cross it. He had hardly left its banks when a Roman army arrived at the mouth of the river. Hannibal led his troops north toward Vienne, and then struck eastward into the Alps. Celtic hordes had crossed those ranges before him.
Celtic hordes. Yep, Celtic hordes. Yeah, go ahead.
Celtic hordes had crossed those ranges before him, and he too might have done it without extraordinary hardship, had it not been for the hostility of the Alpine tribes and the difficulty of getting his elephants through narrow or precipitous passages. Early in September, after a climb of 9 days, he reached the summit and found it covered with snow.
Oh, wait. I want to go past that word. Give me a second. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Real quick. I don't want to be.
Was that precipitous?
Yeah, I don't want to be just over to what that word means.
They're showing the military genius.
Precipitous. And it means dangerously high or steep. Precipitous.
Okay, Esau. Precipitous.
Yeah, okay,
Precipitous.
whatever.
All right.
Higher precipitous
I
means
see,
higher.
I see you got your white boy trained, Deacon.
Yeah.
He says precipitous.
Precipitous.
trained up.
Yeah,
You got to
precipitous.
train up real well.
Precipitous passages, meaning so he was climbing high mountains, and it was very steep, very narrow. He has giant elephants crossing mountains, and they all remember if they're falling off, he's losing some of them. They're falling. It's steep, it's narrow, it's dangerous. This is a dangerous endeavor, but it was unexpected to the Romans for someone to do that, to come from that route, because Hannibal was a genius. Go ahead.
Early in September, after a climb of 9 days, he reached the summit and found it covered with snow. There, he let his men and animals rest for 2 days, and then began the downward march through passes steeper than the ascent. Over roads sometimes buried by landslides and often paved with ice, many soldiers and beasts lost their footing and tumbled to their deaths. Hannibal spurred on his despairing forces by pointing out to them, in the distant south, the green fields and sparkling streams of Italy.
So he said, listen, you see that right there? You see down there, the green? That's our destination. He's trying to inspire them. Listen, I know we're losing men, we're dying out here, but look, if you look above the horizon, you see Italy's right there for the taking. It's right there. They don't see us coming. He was trying to motivate them. Go ahead.
That paradise he promised them would soon be theirs. After 17 days in the Alps, they reached the plain and rested. So many men and horses had been lost in the crossing that the army was now reduced to 26,000, less than half the force that had left New Carthage.
Less than half. So what he suffered is referred to as a Pyrrhic victory. A Pyrrhic victory is a victory that is offset by staggering losses, as in the campaign was so divisive that even though he won the election, it was Pyrrhic victory. This expression alludes to a kind Pyrrhus who defeated the Romans at Escalum in 279 BC, but lost his best officers and many of his troops. So basically, it's a win, but a very at a huge cost.
Right, yeah.
So he won, but it was at a very devastating cost. A Pyrrhic victory is referred to as. Pyrrhic victory. Go ahead.
Less than half the force that had left New Carthage 4 months before. Had the Cisalpine Gauls resisted him as the Transalpine Gauls had done.
You had different kind of Gauls. You had Japhetic Gauls, you had Jake Gauls, you had Edom Gauls. So which Gauls these were, I don't know. But they were resisting him. You had some that were not on his side. Go ahead.
Hannibal's progress might have ended there.
Right. So he had to fight against them. Remember, he's crossing Alps, going up these mountains, snow-capped mountains, and he's fighting people that live in the mountains. Then he comes down the mountain, he's fighting down the mountain. So it's a battle just to get to the next battle. It's a lot going on.
And still having that courage to keep up to still get to the destination before that was before him.
Because they see it. They're on the mountain. They see the grass, see Italy right there. Go ahead.
Hannibal's progress might have ended there, but the boy and other tribes welcomed him as a savior and joined him as allies.
Right, so he ended up getting some reinforcements, go ahead, who saw him.
While the recently established Roman settlers fled southward across the Po. Faced with this second threat in 7 years to the very life of Rome, the Senate mobilized all its resources and called upon the states of Italy to unite in the defense of their land. With their help, Rome raised armies totaling 300,000 foot, 14,000 horse, and 456,000 reserves.
Damn.
One army under the first of many famous Scipios.
One army under what?
Under the first of many famous Scipios.
Under the first of many famous Scipios. There was many of them, Scipios, but there's two in particular that were famous. Go ahead.
Met Hannibal along the Ticino, a small river flowing into the Po at Pavia. Hannibal's Numidian cavalry put the Romans to flight.
Numidia is the southern portion of Carthage. So you're a Numidia is pretty much Carthaginians as well. This is a different area of it, different landmass of it. That's what it is. Numidia. It's nothing special. To say it's Carthage also, it's a different part of it. Hold on, make sure I don't want to go ahead. Keep going. Go ahead.
Hannibal's Numidian cavalry put the Romans to flight, and Scipio, dangerously wounded, was saved by the brave interposition of the son who was destined to meet Hannibal again at Zama.
We had the part again? Hannibal's what? Numidian army what?
Hannibal Numidian cavalry put the Romans to flight, and Scipio, dangerously wounded, was saved by the brave interposition of the son who was destined to meet Hannibal again at Zama 16 years later.
So he wounded the father of Scipio, but Scipio the son would encounter him again and defeat him later on. So he tried to kill the father. The father made it, but he was wounded. He was gravely wounded, but he would come across the son of that man later on and meet him later on, 16 years later. Go ahead.
At Lake Trasimene.
So it's Scipio Sr. and you have Scipio Jr. Go ahead. We'll get to that later. Go ahead.
At Lake Trasimene, Hannibal encountered another Roman army, 30,000 strong, led by the tribune Caius Flaminius, and accompanied by slave dealers bringing fetters and chains for the prospective prisoners whom they hoped to sell.
Them dudes are so arrogant. They came. They said, we're gonna fight this dude with chains. So we beat you. We can sell you as slaves.
We got slaves.
They're arrogant as hell. Go ahead.
They already won the battle.
Right. We already won. Up in the chains. We're gonna win anyway.
Damn.
Go ahead.
With part of his forces, Hannibal decoyed this army into a plain surrounded by hills and woods that concealed most of his troops. At his signal, the hidden columns debouched upon the Romans from every side and killed nearly all of them, including Flaminius himself.
So Hannibal killed them. Hannibal was a genius. Even with less men, he was still kicking behind and taking names. Go ahead.
Hannibal now controlled all northern Italy.
Now we got North Italy, baby. Now we got North Italy. We started taking it, we took it back. Go ahead.
But he knew that he was still outnumbered 10-1 by a resolute foe.
But he was still had more to go. Go ahead.
His only hope lay in persuading.
Imagine if he had this whole military.
Yeah, he would have had. Yeah.
And he lost
They
most of
say
his
historians
best
say that if Hannibal had won, this world would be run by the Carthaginians even till now. If that was the case, but it wasn't our time.
Hey,
It was not our time.
And Deacon Esau is still from Hannibal's brilliancy. Esau is still studying his tactics.
Yeah, so now.
Military.
So now, military tactics. So now.
At least some of the Italian states to revolt against Rome, he released all prisoners whom he had taken from Rome's allies, saying that he had come not to fight Italy but to set it free. He marched through the flooded Etruria, where 4 days no dry land could be found on which to pitch a camp across the Apennines to the Adriatic, and there allowed his soldiers a long interval to refresh their energies and heal their wounds.
Right, they got a chance to rest. Go ahead. They found respite. Go ahead.
He himself suffered from severe
Ophthalmia.
ophthalmia.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. I don't know what
It's
that
not an Negro word.
So Israel, what we trying to do is pronounce the words correctly now.
Right.
So that's what we in.
Trying to do that.
Oh, we doing that now?
We doing that now.
All right,
Cap.
cool.
Ophthalmia.
I've been winging it for years.
Yeah, so that's the new thing now that we implementing, trying to pronounce these words
What app
correctly.
you guys using? I need it.
Ophthalmia.
Wait, what is it?
Ophthalmia. It's the
Ophthalmia.
ophthalmia. Ophthalmia is the inflammation of the eye, especially conjunctivitis.
Okay.
Inflammation of the eyes. So his eyes got puffy. Yeah, puffiness in his eyes. His
All right,
eyes,
so we take it to the next level.
eyes got infected.
Oph-
Ophthalmia.
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 So let me read that again.
He himself.
He himself suffered from severe ophthalmia, took no time to treat it, and lost the use of one eye.
Damn. So he went blind in one eye.
Oof.
See, he was wasting time. He didn't treat it. So I guess he finally got around to it. He lost one eye in the process.
Remember, Deacon, he didn't care. Remember, he had that endurance that he would.
Yeah.
The hardship kicked in.
He didn't care.
Then he marched down the eastern coast, inviting the Italian tribes to join him. None did. On the contrary, every city closed its gates against him and prepared to fight.
Damn, go ahead.
As he moved south, his Gallic allies interested only in their northern homes, began to desert
They
him.
went back home. Go ahead. Because he won back their homes from them for Rome. So they said, okay, we got our land back, so we out. We on. They were grimy. I said, the hell with you. You took the land back, we good.
Plots against his life were so numerous that he had to assume ever new disguises.
We hear it again?
Wow.
Damn.
Plots against his life were so numerous that he had to assume ever new disguises.
He had to disguise himself. So no one would kill him. Go ahead.
He begged his government to send him supplies and men by some Adriatic port. It refused.
See, the government was wicked as hell.
He asked his younger brother Hasdrubal, whom he had left in Spain to
So Hasdrubal, younger brother, Hasdrubal was up in Spain. So we still had Spain. When we had the mines, the silver mines there. Remember that? We had the mines there. Go ahead.
That sounds like they took that from the movie 300.
Right.
That same exact scene.
Obey the Kanye, Spartans.
Remember he said, yo, they begged to get more warriors to send to him?
Right, and he wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
He asked his younger
Well,
brother.
that's about part two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part two, yeah. Go ahead.
He asked his younger brother Hasdrubal, whom he had left in Spain, to organize an army and cross Gaul and the Alps to join him. But the Romans had invaded Spain, and Hasdrubal did not dare to leave it.
Wait. Read, he asked again.
He asked his younger brother Hasdrubal, whom he had left in Spain, to organize an army and cross Gaul and the Alps to join him.
Come join me. Go ahead.
But the Romans had invaded Spain,
Rome attacked Spain. Go ahead.
and Hasdrubal did not dare to leave it.
So I'm not leaving. I'm going to stay here and defend Spain. Go ahead.
10 years were to pass before his coming.
10 years he finally came. Go ahead.
Rome now adopted against her greatest adversary his own baffling policy of caution and attrition. Quintus Fabius Maximus, made dictator in 217, created an adjective by delaying as long as he could a direct engagement with Hannibal. In time, he believed the invaders would be reduced by hunger, discord, and disease. After a year, this masterly inaction irritated the Roman populace. The assembly overruled the Senate.
Wait. I don't want to read too far. I think I skipped the page. We have page 49, Northern Italy, and that page 51, Hannibal lost. Okay, keep going.
After a year,
We're going to end at page 51, 2,000 years. Keep going.
After a year, this masterly inaction irritated the Roman populace. The assembly overruled the Senate, as well as all against Fabius' advice. Menicius advanced against the enemy, fell into a trap, was severely beaten, thereafter understood why Hannibal said that he feared Fabius, who would not fight, more than Marcellus, who would. A year later, Fabius was deposed, and the Roman armies were entrusted to Lucius Aemilius Paulus and Cassius Terentius Varro. Paulus, the aristocrat, counseled caution. Varro and the plebes were all for action, and an unusual caution.
And as usual.
And as usual, caution lost the argument.
Yeah.
Varro sought and found the Carthaginians at Cannae in Apulia, some 10 miles from the Adriatic coast. The Romans had 80,000 infantry, 6,000 cavalry.
That's a lot. 86,000. Go ahead.
Hannibal had 19,000 veterans, 16,000 unreliable Gauls,
Damn.
10,000 horse, and he had lured Varro to fight in a broad plain ideal for cavalry. He had placed the Gauls at his center, expecting that they would give way. They did, and when the Romans followed them into the pocket, the subtle Carthaginian himself, in the thick of the fray, ordered his veterans to close in upon the Roman flanks and bade his cavalry smash through the opposed horsemen to attack the legions from behind.
Surrounded them. Go ahead.
The Roman army was surrounded, lost all chance of maneuvering, and was almost annihilated. 44,000 of them fell, including Paulus and 80
Senators.
80 senators. Where we at?
He killed half
He
of their
killed,
military.
he killed a whole bunch of them, man. Outnumbered
And he had less men.
Yeah.
He had way less men. Go
From
ahead.
80,000, killed 40,000 with 19,000 men.
Yeah.
80 senators who had enlisted as soldiers. 10,000 escaped to Canisium, among them Varro and the Scipio, who was to win the surname of Africanus.
Ah. Mayor.
Africanus Mayor.
So he escaped too. Scipius was there. Scipius Africanus Minor. I think that's minor, I believe. Go ahead.
Hannibal lost 6,000 men, 2/3 of them Gauls. It was a supreme example of generalship, never bettered in history. It ended the days of Roman reliance upon infantry and set the lines of military tactics for 2,000 years.
See that? He set the lines of military tactics for 2,000 years. Hannibal set the precedent for generalship and military tactics that lasted 2,000 years. Damn. So we're going to take a break with that. We'll be back. So just stay tuned. Be patient. We'll be back with some more information. Shalom.
Shalom.
Park. We were at the Wendy's earlier with a group, but this is a second group. Of course, this here is Israel United in Christ, and then of course across the street you have other folks.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets. We seeking peace in the streets of Babylon. Brandis and Glock 40s tucking heat like a carry on. Sinning against the fathers, got me sleeping, not napping on. Christ the King revealed, that's Ariel phenomenon. Kicking against the bricks, lose your soul when that fire come. We purify better than gold, got my Bible on. And that's all that I know, where in Babylon. Don't fall, watch it blow, ayy. Switching it up, the nation's gonna drink it. I'm talking the cup, don't care what you thinking. Believe in the gospel, the God is stinking. The fires of heaven gon' gather for dinner. The ear of the flesh, the wicked, the sinner. Your mama, your sister, your daddy, your cousin. If they issue, if they mind, they don't repent. They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
IUIC, see we in the streets with it. My people sleeping, got them dreaming in the sheets with it. So we spit that holy fire, bringing heat with it. We out here fighting for better days. Most sins make better slaves. Gotta come together on the 7th day. Lose 11 and I levitate. 1 plus 11 heaven gates. 12 tribes, no reprobates. Kingdom come, I can never wait. But the pagan saints never separate. Christ coming back with a legion of them angels. Picture perfect prophecies, trying to find my angle. Hung up from a tree and they watch his body dangle. So the vengeance of the Lord coming down, you in danger.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
Golden wedges of Ophir. Look at here, we the prophets of the Most High, the only God I fear. Killing your career as a Christian, shed a tear. Jesus take the wheel, I'ma let the scripture steer. Joseph interpret dreams, but I don't think he could imagine it. See, in the last days, Jacob told him this would happen.
And we letting loose, we some loose cannon. Pacing saints on the scene, and this kingdom we commanding. Purple and gold, no LeBron James. With King Christ, we gon' see better days. Now you not free cause you got money, you a slave. The Most High on his throne, but holding all thy ways. They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
To play, cause the captain hit me up with the Kijon. Oh yeah, I said I'm fine, we can do it for the truth. Have the lost gathered up and do it for their dues. Dribble, let's move. Then they gonna treat us like some fools? Nah, we had to be the light to the ones been assimilated. Preach out the laws and the lies get eliminated. We should leave a whole menorah inside of UN. Cause I said we taking over, arguing. And there ain't gonna be no arguing. Cause when that 12 trumpet sound, they gonna arguing. These devils ain't prepped for the fight. That dragon hoping to bite, but the old serpent is leaving all of these openings. So the 12 fiending to strike back with the power of Christ stacked with all of his might. That's like
back, the original Royale. Bon voyage, hitting the four corners, teaching them God page by page. They don't know how we do it, I say it's all in the wrist like a corsage. This is spiritual barrage. Shots is fired, so we respond by rising like a croissant. Island by island, we try and bring a tribe in. Picture us side by side like a collage. The nation smell death when we enter. We just gotta recollect and remember us. In the land we possessed by the enemy. Bring it back, all the breath in our image. Fresh in our memory. Blessed be identity, beyond infinity. Death when I limit. This is for the 12 like a lunch break. Hit the devil with a pump fake. Let's be the function way.
Turn that thing up.
More like cause you chose Israel born grade 80. Even
from us wasn't enough. They wanted more buffalo skulls, plus injected with smallpox. Sweet words to the cheek, them kisses jaded just like the locks. Taking over blocks, green lights, we are non-stop. I tried to be a devil, got converted like drop tops. If keys open doors like some dancers, we pop locks. The Israelites is everywhere, they know we a hot topic. I'm saying, we make more change than counting 100 pennies. Or someone who made a milli off selling his soul for dough. We ain't niggas no more, don't use hands no more. Rather the Bible to slap out all of that idol worship and devil courtship. Ain't a game, I don't need sportsmanship, especially after how you tortured us. Damn, this is the end of the road for you. Kingdom coming down, forever smoking. It's beautiful.
Hey, shalom, shalom. We're back from commercial break. Welcome to Our Hidden History Radio.
History.
Oh man, we gotta figure out another way to.
That was pleasant, Cap.
Can we vote on this, Deacon?
No, we're not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna think of something, but not gonna do that again. We're not gonna say history ever again.
Why? It's different.
That was horrible. You didn't
like it?
And plagiarism, because that's.
It's not. Hey, did Isaiah plagiarize Jeremiah?
Oh no.
Jeremiah plagiarized Isaiah.
No, I'm not doing it with you, man. I'm not doing this with you. It's horrible, man. Let's go to.
We should take a vote with the callers.
We'll take a call. Well, yeah, yes. Let's do.
A slogan.
Yes. Should we take calls first, or should we do it?
Let's take calls.
Let's take a call. Let's take a call first. Take a call first. We got time. Just gotta keep it short because I want to get through this. I want to finish this page. I gotta get through this page, y'all. So keep it short and simple. If you're gonna call us. I don't know the number. I forgot the number.
Put the number. It's right there.
Numbers on the screen, right? Because I don't. Yeah. Okay. There you go. 267-702. Right? I can't see that.
Yes.
6121. Yeah. 267-702-6121. You can call and comment. So I want to call. You're more than welcome. Just keep it short and sweet because I want to get through this page.
Oh, I haven't done this one before.
What you gonna do now?
So how we doing this?
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Caller, you live.
Yo, call in. Are we on? Somebody call?
They're calling now. No, yet? Are you calling yet?
right.
All right, so we're just going to continue. I guess we're probably just watching.
Hey, just let us know, man.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know. And we'll
I don't know how
stop.
this worked yet.
We'll figure it out.
It's new.
Go to Meanwhile, page 52. Meanwhile, I guess everybody's just soaking it in. I guess.
So you do. So how you call? How you doing? What's your name? And that's it.
Really? Now you gonna do it now? Yes. Yes.
He practicing on the air.
Practicing on the air. Yes.
All praise. Meanwhile.
Meanwhile,
Right
page
there.
52. Yep. Go ahead.
Right there.
We're gonna read all the way to page 54, but not. It's not much. But it is. But let's just get through it. Come on.
Meanwhile, a Roman army under the two older Scipios had been sent to Spain to keep Hasdrubal occupied.
Mm-hmm.
They defeated him at the Ebro. But both of them were soon afterward killed in battle, and their gains were being lost when their son and nephew Scipio Africanus was dispatched to the Spanish command.
And their son and nephew Scipio Africanus was dispatched to the Spanish command. Go ahead.
He was but 24, far below the legal age for so responsible a position, but the Senate was willing to stretch the Constitution to save the state. And the Assembly was by this time voluntarily subordinating itself to the Senate. Can the people see the page? All right. Yeah. Subordinating itself to the state. The people admired him not only because he was handsome and eloquent, intelligent and brave, but pious, courteous, and just. It was his custom, before undertaking an enterprise, to commune with the gods in the temples on the capital, and after his victories, to reward them with hecatombs. He believed or represented himself to be a favorite of heaven.
Here we go again. He saw his ego.
With confidence. He soon restored discipline among the troops, captured Nova Carthago.
He captured New Carthage. Go ahead, Spain. Go ahead.
After a long siege, and scrupulously turned over to the treasury the precious metal and stones that there fell into his hands. Most of the Spanish cities surrendered to him, and by 205 BC, Spain had become a Roman province.
So he had treachery. He had gained the precious metal and stones that there fell into his hands from Spain. Keep that in mind. Keep going.
Nevertheless, Hasdrubal's main force had escaped and now crossed Gaul and the Alps into Italy.
So Hasdrubal managed to escape them sieging Spain. He wants to go help Hannibal. Go ahead, like he told him. Go ahead.
The young leader's message to Hannibal was intercepted, and his plan of campaign was revealed to Rome.
So somehow his communication with Hannibal, Hasdrubal's communication with Hannibal was intercepted, and they realized he was on his way to help assist Hannibal. Go ahead.
The young leader's message to Hannibal was intercepted, and his plan of campaign revealed to Rome. A Roman army met his modest force at the Materus River and defeated him despite his excellent generalship. Seeing the battle lost and all hope of reaching his brother gone, Hasdrubal leaped into the midst of the legions and took death in his stride.
Damn. So he fought. He said, I'm going to die. I'm about to go out in a bang. Go out. Go ahead.
The Roman historians, perhaps romancing, tell us that the victor cut off the youth's head and sent it through Apulia to be cast over the ramparts into Hannibal's camp.
So the Roman historians say that they took Hasdrubal's head and they threw it up and it rolled into where Hannibal was at. All right, that's what they say. That's what it said, that they took his head and threw it in Hannibal, for Hannibal to see. Go ahead.
Broken in spirit by the fate of a brother whom he had dearly loved, Hannibal withdrew his thinned-out forces to Bruttium. No action was fought with him this year, says Livy, nor did the Romans care to disturb him. So great was the reputation of his powers, even while his cause was everywhere round him crumbling into ruin. Carthage sent him 100 ships laden with men and food, but a gale drove the vessels to Sardinia, where a Roman fleet sank or captured 80 of them. The rest fled home.
So he started losing. Hannibal's losing now. So Hannibal, after they killed his brother, Rome said, listen, we got respect for you. We'll let you mourn for your brother. Then they resumed battle. He tried to get reinforcements. A gale came, messed up the ships. The Romans intercepted his ships, it was going bad now. So at this point, Hannibal is losing the battle now. He's losing. Go ahead.
In 205 BC, young Scipio, fresh from his victories in Spain, was chosen consul, raised a new army, and sailed for Africa. The Carthaginian government appealed to Hannibal to come to the help of the city that had so long refused to support him. How shall we imagine the feelings of the half-blind warrior, driven into a corner of Italy by an endless stream of enemies, seeing all his toil and hardships of 15 years brought to nothing, and all his triumphs summoned up to futility and flight? Half of his troops refused to embark with him for Carthage. According to hostile historians, he had 20,000 of them killed for disobedience and for fear that Rome might add them to her legions.
Go back. I'm sorry, I missed something. Read it again.
Half of his troops refused to embark with him for Carthage. According to hostile historians, he had 20,000 of them killed for disobedience.
Damn.
And for fear that Rome might add them to her legions. Touching his native soil after an absence of 36 years, he hastily formed a new army and went out to face Scipio at Zama, 50 miles south of Carthage, 202 BC. The two generals met in a courteous interview, found agreement impossible, and joined battle.
So they had a conversation first. Let's talk first. They could not agree on terms. They said, all right, the hell with it, let's fight. So they decided to go fight, him and Scipio.
Be like, surrender now, I'll save your man. No, you surrender, or
Right.
I'll save your man. You know what? The hell with it.
Right, let's just fight. Let's see what happens. Go ahead.
For the first time in his life, Hannibal was defeated. The Carthaginians, mostly mercenaries, gave ground before the Roman infantry and the reckless cavalry of Massinissa.
Massinissa.
Oh, gosh.
This dude, yo, listen. This dude was the worst. This is a Jake. Massinissa was the worst. He was a king of Numidia. He was like a rival Carthaginian. All right? He was like a clown. All right? Massinissa. Go ahead. But we'll get to him in a few seconds. Go ahead.
Massinissa, the Numidian king. 20,000 Carthaginians were left dead on the field. Hannibal, now 45, fought with the energy of youth, attacked Scipio in personal combat.
So he came and hit Scipio personally. Ooh. They had a one-on-one. Go ahead.
Attacked Scipio in personal combat and wounded him.
And he hurt him. He beat him. Go ahead. He wounded. Go ahead.
Attacked Massinissa.
Then he attacked Massinissa. Massinissa was a coon. He sided with the Romans. Go ahead.
Reformed his disordered forces again and again and led them in desperate countercharges.
So he was trying. Hannibal was trying to rout. He was losing, but he was trying his best. He was going out with a fight. Go ahead.
When all hope fled, he eluded capture.
He ran. He escaped. Go ahead.
Rode to Carthage. Announced that he had lost not only a battle but the war, and advised the Senate to sue for peace. Scipio was generous. He allowed Carthage to retain her African empire, but demanded the surrender of all her war vessels except 10 trimeries.
Yeah.
She was not to make war outside of Africa or within it without Rome's consent.
So he could not go to war without Rome's permission. Go ahead.
And she was to pay Rome 200 talents, $720,000 today, every year or 50 years.
Every year for 50 years. Every year for 50 years. Basically 800,000, 700,000.
720,000.
720,000 every year for 50 years. Go ahead.
Hannibal pronounced the terms just and persuaded his government to accept them.
Go ahead.
The Second Punic War changed the face of the Western Mediterranean. It gave Spain and all its wealth to Rome.
Go on. It gave Spain and all its wealth to where?
To Rome.
To Rome. Go ahead.
Providing the funds for the Roman conquest of Greece.
Stop. So, when Rome conquered Hannibal, it gave Rome the power to conquer the Greeks. That's what happened. I'm giving you the tie-in of Daniel 7. Once they conquered Hannibal, they were able to have enough funds to raise up, to build their army, to overthrow the Greeks. That's how. They were a republic. But the wealth they gained from fighting Hannibal, they became an empire. So Hannibal's defeat was what made Rome an empire. The wealth they obtained to become an empire came from them conquering Israel, conquering Hannibal. That is the missing link in Scripture. Now,
by them getting Spain, so all the gold that was in
Spain. I'm gonna get it right.
Deacon,
get sex and race now.
Do you have this?
Yeah, which one? Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah, I probably thought that.
Yeah, I'm heading there.
I knew it.
Go to this one.
Smell.
Sex and Race by J. Rogers. I don't mind y'all having this one. You can get all 3 volumes if you want. You can get all 3 volumes if you want. Sex and Race by J. Rogers.
Deacon, also we have a call.
You have a caller? All right. So let's prepare Sex and Race Volume 1. Page 88. You know what I want, right? Manny. Thanks.
Shalom, caller. Shalom, caller. Where you calling from?
He says,
You
"Shalom,
good, Cap? You good, Cap?
Hey, Shalom, sis. How you doing? Shalom, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Adia. I'm calling from Indiana, and I'd just like to say thank you guys for standing firm for the truth and not giving up. I was listening to you today, and I listen to you periodically a lot so that I can get information. And today it was just really an extra blessing. So I just wanted to encourage you and say keep doing it because we don't have a lot of people out anymore standing for the truth. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, sis. All praises to the Lord.
All
Appreciate
praises,
that.
Most High, sis.
Much appreciated.
We appreciate it. Thank you, sis.
Thank you
Encourage
very much.
us.
Very encouraging. Yeah.
And it keeps us going. We,
Yep.
you know, we love the support of our sisters. When we get the
we do.
support of our sisters, that pushes us even further.
Right.
Because we fight for our nation.
So we're going to get one more any more callers or continue where we are? Continue. Continue? All right. So let's go. Go back to where we at. Sex and Race, Volume 1, page 88. So I'm tying in. Remember, Daniel 7, it mentions how the Babylonians came in, then the Persians came, and then the Greeks came, and the Romans came. And the Romans were fighting with the Greeks, but they weren't really winning until they gained that wealth and power that they obtained from Hannibal, the Punic War. Sex and Race, we're going to start at page 88. The underlined portions. I don't know what portion that is. Let me see. I put underlined portions.
It's right at
You
D.
can't
It's
really
right at
see
D.
it. You see it? Well, let me get there with you so I can know exactly why or what I'm reading. But you can read it. I'll read along with you. Page 88, the underlined portions I have.
It says Hannibal and his African troops must have brought a great deal of Negro strain into the Roman population.
Whoa, wait. Read above that. Septimius.
Septimius Severus, another great emperor, was born in Africa.
He came from the same place that Hannibal came from, Libya. Go ahead.
Macrinus and Firmus, other emperors, were Moors. Macrinus came of most humble parentage and was probably an ex-slave, as his ears were bored in slave fashion.
Next one.
Hannibal and his African troops.
And his what?
African troops.
Black troops. Remember the Gauls? Remember that? We read about them being Gauls and Spaniards. These are blacks. Go ahead.
Must have brought a great deal of Negro strain.
And remember parts ago I mentioned how he said you had dark Spaniards in that book I brought out, the Native Americans. I said dark Spaniards. That was way back. I mentioned that way back. But the book I have about Native Americans mentions dark or black Spaniards. That's what it was alluding to. Coming to the side of the world. Black Spaniards, referring to us. But go ahead, read on again. Hannibal and what?
Hannibal and his African troops must have brought a great deal of Negro strain into the Roman population.
They brought a great deal of Negro strain into the Roman population. Because we had it on live. We rolled over there. Go ahead. Sicily, go ahead.
For 13 years, they dominated the peninsula from the Alps to Naples.
Go ahead.
Hannibal himself was a full-blooded Negro.
What?
A full-blooded Negro.
Full-blooded Negro. Full-blooded Negro. Go ahead.
With woolly hair, as his coins show.
As his coins show him on them. Go ahead.
His wife was Spanish and perhaps white.
BS. She was black too. Don't try to play that game with us. Yeah, thought his wife was white. Even he was black. That's the most important part. Page 89.
Listen, a white woman couldn't handle Hannibal.
No.
I'm sorry.
Unless she was a slave.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
Let's see.
And he would not deal with that because remember, he swore revenge
upon his
right against the Romans. So why would he have a right?
Yeah.
Nonsense. That's why I said nonsense. Go up page 89. This is a Hannibal, most famous of all. That and then go down to the bottom. No, read that first.
Oh, right here. Let me start at Razel.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought it was. Razel and Reckless have also spoken of the marked Negro strain in the North African peoples.
Yeah, Carthage. Negro strain in Carthage. Go ahead.
The former says Negroes crossed the Alps with Hannibal and fell at Worth beside McMahon.
Negroes fell with him. Who were those? The Gauls? That was his army. Negroes fell with him. This is black people fighting. Spaniards and Gauls. Blacks. Negroes. And akin in blood in relation to the ancient Jews. Let you know who he was.
And they show you he was a white because they was fighting the Romans.
Fighting white, exactly. Right. Fighting white folks. His whole army was black folks. Why do he have a white wife when he's fighting against white folks?
Makes no sense.
That sounds retarded.
Because at this time we knew who our enemy was.
Now I'll leave. Now what I'll do, I'll leave it open ended. We did, however, capture that area where white women were, and it says we left a legal strain. So yes, it's possible. However, I find it very unlikely his wife was white. I doubt it. But nonetheless, the point is that he and his men were Negro. That's the point. I don't even go sidebar with his wife. She's irrelevant to me. But his point is that he was a Negro and his army was Negroes. Go ahead.
I don't know, Deacon. I don't know, man.
It don't matter. It don't matter either way.
Our women, man, like Hannibal. Hannibal, he had a world. He can get something real nice.
Well, he probably did have something. He probably had more than one.
Who knows? Right. But Esau, they're not like our sisters.
Oh no, Cap, no. Beat on. No, this is gonna do. I know this is going. Continue, man. Go ahead, Hannibal. Man. I know this is going.
Whatever
what you're gonna do. Go to Hannibal. Most famous.
Whatever their original nature may have been, all this population must have been alloyed with a strong Ethiopian element.
Yeah, black element. Go ahead.
The entire Semitic and Hamitic population of Africa has, in other words, a mulatto character which extends to the Semites outside Africa. Hannibal, most famous of all Carthaginian, was a Negro, as was said.
As was said on page 88. He was a Negro, as was said. The Carthaginians were Negroes. That's what it's saying. Jump down to the bottom now, the Numidians. No, matter of fact, no, read the next paragraph. The North African part. I don't even know how that top. Read that first part.
This North African region was once known as Barbary.
Barbary. That goes back to the Maghreb. The barbarian states. Barbary states. Remember that map he showed you on God Be map? Barbary? Yep. Go ahead.
And its peoples.
Go ahead.
And its people, the Berbers.
They were called Berbers. Go ahead.
Or barbarians.
That's where Barbary comes from. Berbers or barbarians. It's read earlier in the map last week. Berber Jews. Berber Jews. Go ahead.
Who, despite the bad use to which their name was put by the Europeans.
The Europeans gave them the name barbarians or Berbers. That was the name they gave us. Because we were black and didn't speak Latin and Greek. Go ahead.
Were once leaders in culture.
So Esau's culture came from us.
So we were civilized.
Yes. Let's jump down now. Go to the Numidians.
Go down. The Numidians of classic antiquity were a Negro people. Sir William Smith said...
Hold on, the Numidians are what?
The Numidians of classic antiquity were a Negro people.
That's Carthage. Go ahead.
Sir William Smith says that the word Mari, from which comes Mauritania, Morocco.
See? The word Mari, from which comes Morocco. Go ahead.
Means black. And adds, these Moors must not be considered a different race from the Numidians, but as a tribe belonging to the same stock.
Same people. Go ahead.
The most noted figure of Numidia was King Massinissa, who provided the balance of power whereby Rome was able to defeat Hannibal.
Sell out nigga. Sided with Rome against Hannibal. All for power. Because he wanted all of Numidia. Numidia is part of Carthage. He wanted the whole thing for himself.
That's wicked as hell.
Hannibal had one portion, his family. He had one portion. He wanted all of it for himself. So I'll start with Rome. I'll get it from Rome.
Wow.
Evil bastard.
Did that go with what's that? First Maccabees 8, where Rome set up whoever.
Yep.
That Jason.
Yeah, that allies with them or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Hey, Deacon gonna go over that, man.
I made it.
Yeah, how dare you?
I'm sorry, Deacon. I'm sorry, Cat.
How dare you, man? You see, I held back.
I just wanted to prepare Deacon.
I respectfully showed Deacon the script. I said, Deacon.
Yeah, he's going there right now. First Maccabees.
Because you know,
I'm sorry. You should have known Deacon.
Bro,
You're right.
You should know better, bro.
I'm sorry, Cat. I
All that
apologize.
hair you got in your head.
Look,
it's blocking the oxygen from your brain.
Israel, I want to apologize. I made a mistake just now.
Oh man.
You apologize for not cutting the
cut that hair off.
Wow.
Look like Tito Jackson.
Damn. Yo, Cat, why can't I be someone that was of some type of.
Kyle want to give that to you.
Oh man.
All right.
There's some hatred going on about hair.
Yeah.
Up on the
hair hatred.
podium right here. So
See, Israel don't know what goes on behind the set.
First Maccabees 8-1.
they have it, they have not.
Right, exactly. That's all it's about. The have and the have nots.
Let me read the scripture for you, Deacon, before you were interrupted.
Damn.
Wow. First Maccabees 8-1.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them, and that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts, which they had done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them, and brought them under tribute,
Watch this.
and what they had done in the country of Spain.
Hold on. What they had done in the country of Spain. What did they do? Go ahead.
For the winning of the minds.
For the what?
The winning of the minds.
For the winning of the minds. Who they win them from? Hannibal.
So Dick, basically what I'm getting here, if I'm mistakenly, so while Hannibal was fighting the Romans, we was fighting the Greeks.
Right.
That's basically
Right.
Damn.
Right. And the Romans and Greeks are fighting each other.
Right. Damn.
So you had Maccabees fighting the
crazy.
Greeks,
Yeah.
Rome fighting the Greeks, and Hannibal fighting the Romans.
Esau and Jacob.
Esau and Jacob fighting each other, pretty
Wow.
much. And then Rome gained momentum and power, overthrew the Greeks because they did what? Read verse 3 again.
And what they had done in the country of Spain.
Oh, when they conquered, when Scipio conquered Hasdrubal. Go ahead.
For the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which is there.
For the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which was there. That's how Rome gained the power to conquer the Galatians and gain power. Read verse 4.
And that by their policy and patience they had conquered all the place, though it were very far from them, and the kings also that came against them from the uttermost part of the earth, till they had discomfited them, and given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them the tribute every year. Besides this,
Yeah, like Hannibal, a tribute every year, taxing. Go ahead. 720,000 a year for 50 years. Go ahead.
200 talents.
besides this, how they had discomfited in battle Philip and Perseus, king of the Kittims, with others that
That's
lifted
Greeks. Go ahead.
with others that lifted up themselves against them, and had
That's all I
overcome them.
want, and overcome them. That's all I want. I'll stop for a reason. Now, let's get Caesar in Christ again. No, give me that website. I sent you a website. I sent you a website on Hannibal.
And historically
Today, I
speaking,
said
Deacon,
today.
you understand historically, we understand there's always fights amongst ourselves. Well, like I said, we always could because of power. Even with Esau, there was fights amongst themselves because of power. But what you notice the difference between Esau and us, when we fought amongst ourselves for power, there's no recovery period of us coming to one common ground. Say, you know what? We have a common enemy before us. Let's put our sources together. Like when you look at the history with the Romans and the Greeks, Greeks understood, okay, we had our time of rulership. Because the Romans was always there, but it's just under a different tribal name. You have the different dukes of Esau, the different fathers. So under the different as Rome gained status and power, you have the Greeks says, you know what? Rome says, yo, listen, they came against them. The Greeks says, you know what? Boom, let's join unto them. That's why you have the Greco-Roman Empire. So along with that, you have what is called the Germanic tribes. You have the Germans, Germanics. You have the Visigoths. You have the Franks. You have the Goths.
The Goths, right.
All of them during the time period of Rome. Oh, we have a call?
All
Okay.
right, one more call.
One more call. Yeah, so I'll finish. I thought after.
You finish your thought now.
Okay, so during the time when Rome gained status and power, you had the Goths, the Visigoths, the Goths. You have the Franks.
Right.
Yeah, and what is it? Germ.
Vandals.
The Vandals.
A whole bunch of them.
So these are all Edomite tribes
Yeah, they were.
during the time of Rome, and they were also, Revelation goes into that. They were also fighting amongst each other.
Right.
But Roman, you can see that also in a movie called Barbarian, a show called Barbarian. They show that the fight is between the Germanic tribes. So Rome
And Gladiator.
Yes, and Gladiator as
Fought
well.
The Germanic tribes there. The Gulics.
So Rome was able to crush each and every one of those Edomite tribes. But the difference between Rome gained status and power. The difference is, as we gained status and powers during, like I said, Septimius Severus as well as Constantine, we began to rule. All these tribes, they were there. Now they're Spain. Now they're France. Now they're Germany. So what happens today? Yeah, but they work together. Even with the differences, they work together for a common cause against the Israelites.
Right.
But for some reason,
until the Lord turns the heat up and turns them against each other.
exactly.
So what's the call? What's the call?
Shalom, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Shalom, peace, brothers. My name is Ray. I'm calling from New York.
Hey, shalom, brother. How you doing?
Good. I got a question about, the information that y'all given, like mainly concerning history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, like, I don't always watch, like, videos, sometimes you want to read the information, right? So
Right.
you get the books, but a problem I see often is I wonder, how do you divide this information, right? How do you know? For instance, I'll give you an example. Reading Babylon and Timbuktu, it'll tell you that the Edomite is Japheth, and we know that's not the case.
Right.
So it's like you just got to know the history to realize that he's wrong on that. But reading a lot of these books, I'm wondering, how do you figure this stuff out? How do you divide this? How do you figure out what to take, what to digest, what not to, what to put to the side?
The Bible got to be the main source. The Bible has to be your main source. And the Babylon Timbuktu regarding Esau being, he never said that. He said that the information regarding that is lacking. He never ever agreed to them being Japheth. He said the information regarding Japheth being white, the white race, is lacking because he knew, and he had books that we have, that he collected, that say Japheth was black. And I even made reference to a few Japhetic nations that were black, like the Thracians and Etruscans. They were all dark. So that's why he said that information is lacking. He heard it, but he cited it, but he didn't cite where it's from. But in terms of when you know it's true or false, you got to use the Bible as be the main source. Everything I brought out thus far ties back to historical references to the Bible. That's why I mentioned. That's why I went to Hannibal. Then I went into 1 Maccabees 8, where it says they won the mines. How did they win the mines? Because they conquered Hasdrubal. So it has to tie back to the Bible. The moment it contradicts the scriptures, I throw it out. We call that bones. A slang term, we call it bones. We spit out the bones. We keep the meat that's in it. You understand?
Yeah.
So the main source must always be the Bible. The Bible is a historical book itself, which ties into secular information. So whenever I do it with history, it has to go back to that Bible. Otherwise, I don't mess around with it, or I'll leave it alone. Or I may touch it, but I may leave it open-ended. Like, okay, I'll research it some more, I'll get back to y'all. That's how we do it.
I'm just getting kind of like hip to the Apocrypha. I just bought one. I haven't read it yet, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm wondering, like, the Bible's got history.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have some of the detailed stuff that we see now. Like some of the information that you guys give on this history show.
Right.
So it's like, what do you got to do first? You read the book first and then go back and kind of,
the Bible is preferable to be read first. I told everybody, someone asked you that last week. I told them the Bible would be first. You got to apply the commandments first and foremost, because the books will tend to books. If you go with books first, you start going kind of crazy. There's a lot of information. You lose your brains. You got to focus on the Bible first. Get your mind right first. Run those basic things first, and then this is like I say all the time. It's like college level. It's like an advanced history, advanced Bible class. I'd say this radio show is. So it's just for those who pretty much are kind of seasoned with scriptures already and will have a knack for history. I try to make it as basic as I can to those who are new, but I prefer you learn the Bible first and foremost, and then when I go into history, it ties in. This is more like I'm more so filling in the gaps. That's what I'm doing. The Bible is everything. I'm just filling in little minor gaps here and there with history. That's all I'm doing.
Like the Bible's abbreviated.
The Bible's an abbreviation, pretty much. It's abridged.
Can I just?
I'm just giving more.
I have a scripture real quick, just to help.
Yeah, sure.
John 21 verse 25.
Right. To show us an abridgment, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
John 21 verse 25. And there are also many other things which Jesus did, which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen.
Right. So what it's saying is that Christ did so many things. When we read about Christ, it mentions him, he turned 12. Then it jumps to him being 30. So we don't know what he did between for 18 years. So it's an abbreviation. The things that Christ did was enough to let us know he was who he said he was. He was the one who was prophesied to be the one to come. The Bible gives us just enough. It's an abridgment, an abbreviation. So I just fill in the gaps. I mentioned how Christ came to the side of the world. That's not written, but it's historically documented by the natives and so forth. That's what I do. I just fill in the gaps here and there,
Right.
That's what I do. So the Bible got to be your first and main source. Always your first and main source before anything else. Otherwise, you will lose your mind.
Right.
Yeah, look on.
So last, I don't know if you had anything else to say on that, though.
Yeah, I was going to explain to you, like you said earlier about Esau calling himself the son of Japhet. When you go to Genesis 10, how we know, because Genesis 10 explains to you the children of Japhet. You understand? So that's how we know that he's lying concerning that part.
Right. He just took those lands over. That's all. And assumed the identity like he does everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. So what's
Yeah, so I just wanted to say it's crazy how God works and whatnot. This is your this is me, Deacon Ethan, your cousin Ray.
Oh, hey Ray.
how you left you left the BX before
Yeah.
I had I had realized my nationality. You know what I'm saying?
All praises.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
hey Ray, what's going on, man?
crazy.
This is the cousin I'm talking about
crazy.
earlier.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay,
This is the cousin
I
I was
can
talking
see.
about earlier in
Hey,
the
I can
show.
see why Deacon left the BX. All that horn honking.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
All praises, though. Man.
Yeah.
it's
All
crazy,
praises.
man. I was thinking how long ago you started this,
Right.
right? And now, out of all of this time, out of all the route that I done went,
Right.
I'm right back. I'm right back where you were originally. Like, damn, I envy that brother, man. I can't believe he did it right the first time, the first way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All
Like,
praise to the
yeah,
Lord,
yeah.
man. Yeah, it's never
Yeah,
too late.
that's
You know it's
right.
never too late. You know that. I'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah.
I didn't even try to reach out to you. I've been so busy, man. I saw it says you got a cousin named Ray. I said, Ray, reach out to me. Okay, I'll reach out to him.
Yeah. Coincidence. I don't know if it's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence. There's no such thing. It's providence.
Yeah,
Providence.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I've been searching like everywhere, like
Right.
all the the letter camps and whatnot.
Right.
And you find so often that you got Israelites that love blacks but hate Israelites.
Right.
And so all they do, their whole mission is to put down every other Israelite.
Right.
And I noticed that with you guys, like, even though there may be some things that I don't understand or agree with at this particular time,
Right.
I realize the love for the brothers. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that to me is like, yeah, this is where it's at, man.
Right.
Your bishop don't attack. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, things that don't need to be attacked, he just keeps on with the word. That's all I worry about.
Right.
I'm like, I like this. I like that. You know
All
what I mean?
praises,
That's,
man.
That's me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, bro. All praises, man. All praises. Well, cuz, listen, man.
yeah,
I'm going to talk, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just thanks for the information and stuff.
Of course. I'll talk to you after the show. I'll talk to you after the show, man. We'll talk.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
All right, peace.
All right,
Peace.
cuz. Shalom.
All right, shalom.
It's a small world. I'm telling you, man. It's a small world. So that's the cousin I was referring to at the beginning of the show. My mom left me with them. That's the one. That's the cousin that I was talking about. My mom said, "We around them." That's the one.
All praises.
Right. That's the cousin I was referring to. So, all praises for that. Let's where are we at? We were at Caesar and Christ, page 54. Oh yes, yeah. Analysis of Roman coins tells of Hannibal's defeat and Rome's rise. Let's go down. Let's skim through it real quick.
Blow it up.
Blow it up. The defeat.
The defeat by the ancient Romans of Hannibal, despite the Carthaginian leader's famous feat of marching his army, complete with war elephants over the Pyrenees and Alps into Italy, also meant that the Romans captured the silver mines of the Iberian Peninsula.
Spain, Iberian Peninsula. And keep that word Iberian close to your hearts, okay? Iberian Peninsula. Iberian Peninsula. That's Spain. So captured the silver mines of the Iberian Peninsula. Go ahead.
Bringing so much silver into the Roman Empire that it can be traced through the coinage.
Come on.
Scientists have, for the first time, analyzed the silver content of a group of coins, bracketing the Second Punic War from 218 to 201 BC, in which Hannibal initially inflicted humiliating defeats on the Romans, but was then forced by a counter-invasion to fall back to North Africa
Carthage.
and ultimate defeat. The Carthaginians also lost control of the Iberian Peninsula and the richest silver mines of the Mediterranean world.
The richest silver mines. The richest silver mines of the Mediterranean world. Go ahead.
The coins were minted between 225 BC and 201 BC. Before the war, the Roman coins were made of the same Aegean silver as Greek cities in Italy and Sicily. But as the course of the war turned in the Romans' favor from around 209 BC, and silver as booty and reparation payments began to pour into Italy.
Into Rome. Go ahead.
The silver used was Iberian.
Spanish. Go ahead.
Meaning that the coins had a far higher silver content.
Richer silver in Spain. Let's go down some. Right there. Read the massive. This massive right there.
This massive influx of Iberian silver significantly changed Rome's economy.
Isn't that the same thing they did to us on this side of the world? They conquered us and enslaved us and used our labor and our wealth and built America. Likewise, they conquered Hannibal. We acquired our wealth in Spain and took that. Read again.
This massive influx of Iberian silver significantly changed Rome's economy, allowing it to become the superpower of its day.
Wow. See that? So the wealth they acquired conquering us made Rome a superpower. Go ahead.
We know this from the histories of Livy and Polybius.
We read that name Livy numerous times, and Polybius. Read that name numerous times as well during the lessons. Go ahead.
And others.
Like Tacitus and so forth. Go ahead.
But our work gives contemporary scientific proof of the rise of Rome.
Watch this.
What our work shows is that the defeat of Hannibal and the rise of Rome is written in the coins of the Roman Empire.
Go ahead. Go down. Go ahead.
Professor Kevin Butcher of the Department of Classics and Ancient History at the University of Warwick said the project had confirmed that what had previously only been speculation. This research demonstrates how scientific analysis of ancient coins can make a significant contribution to historical research. It allows what was previously speculation about the importance of Spanish silver for the coinage of Rome to be placed on a firm foundation.
See that? Read one more time. Allows what?
This research demonstrates how scientific analysis of ancient coins can make a significant contribution to historical research. It allows what was previously speculation about the importance of Spanish silver for the coinage of Rome to be placed on a firm foundation.
That's all I want. So basically, Hannibal's defeat is what gave Rome the wealth to become an empire. And when it became an empire, it conquered Greece and knocked the third beast out of the water. It became the superpower that it was. All right? That's all I want. So Hannibal's history ties into Rome's rising as an empire, becoming an empire.
It's crazy.
All right? So now, like I said, I'm just filling in the gaps. Let's go to page 54, Caesar and Christ. Page 54, Caesar and Christ. And we're going to go to Carthage. To Carthage.
It was the beginning?
Yeah, it says to Carthage. It says on page 54. It should say to Carthage, the third paragraph.
Yes, sir.
And then we're going to stop at page 55 where it says at peace.
To Carthage, it was the beginning of the end, with much of its commerce and empire left to it. It might have solved the problems of regeneration, but the oligarchical government was so corrupt that it threw upon the lower classes the burden of raising the annual indemnity.
Oligarchical was the high upper class people were corrupt and evil, wicked as hell. They didn't care. Go ahead. About the low class. Go ahead. Or Hannibal. Go ahead.
Raising the annual indemnity for Rome and embezzled part of it to boot.
Negroes again. Negroes. Go ahead.
The popular party called upon Hannibal to come out of his retirement and save the nation. In 196, he was elected Suffet.
Stop. In 196, he was elected what?
Suffet.
Suffet. Remember that word? It said in pages ago. It says they were referred to as shafets, judges, like in the scriptures. Shafet. So he was elected as a judge. Suffet. That's a Hebrew term for judge. Okay, Suffet. Go ahead.
He shocked the oligarchs by proposing that the judges of the court of 104 should be elected for 1 year and should be ineligible for a second term until after a year's interval.
So he said, listen, man, you guys shouldn't be ruling. From now on, let's have it where a judge should rule for 1 year and can't come back until the year after. But these guys are corrupt anyway, so make me a judge. I'm going to change the whole system, the whole structure around. So he became the judge and changed things. Watch this.
When the Senate rejected the measure, he brought it before the assembly and carried it. By this law and this procedure, he established at one stroke a degree of democracy equal to Rome's. He punished and checked venality and pursued it to its source. He relieved the citizens of the extra taxes that had been laid upon them, and yet so managed the finances that by 188 BC, Carthage was able to pay off the Roman indemnity in full.
See what he did? He did a Black Wall Street. He paid off all the debt that they owed Rome. Because he was good with money. He was wise. He said he got them all out of debt. He got them out of Roman debt when he gave him power. Go ahead.
To get rid of him, the oligarchy secretly sent word to Rome.
So you see that? It comes to black people again. It says to get rid of him, the oligarchy, is these corrupt Negroes, man.
And it's still here today.
Still around today. Still around being this, being Negroes. Go ahead.
To get rid of him, the oligarchy secretly sent word to Rome that Hannibal was plotting to renew the war.
It's a lie. He was not. Go ahead.
Scipio used all his influence to protect his rival.
So Scipio, who defeated him, had love for him because he was like competition, like his rival. It's like, okay, it's this guy. Listen, man, leave Hannibal alone. So they had a common respect for each other at this point. Esau and Jacob, pretty much. Go ahead, read again.
To get rid of him, the oligarchy secretly sent word to Rome that Hannibal was plotting to renew the war. Scipio used all his influence to protect his rival, but was overruled. The Senate accommodated the rich Carthaginians by demanding the surrender of Hannibal.
See that? So they fed the rich Negroes to turn on Hannibal, to turn him over. Go ahead.
The old warrior fled by night.
He dipped. I'm out of here. Go ahead.
Rode 150 miles to Thapsus and there took ship to Antioch.
To Syria. So he went to Syria. He went to Antioch. Who was in Syria? Who's in Antioch? Is he going? Page 55, 50 what? 50...
55.
55, and we're going to stop at peace.
He found Antiochus III.
Oh, he ran into Antiochus the Great, or Antiochus the Great. He ran into him. That's the same guy mentioned in the Bible, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Antiochus, that's what Antioch is named after. Antioch of Syria. Go ahead.
Hesitating between war and peace with Rome, he advised war and became one of the king's staff.
Stop. Hannibal became one of Antiochus's council. War counselor. His counselor. Go ahead. This is Antiochus III. Watch this.
And when the Romans defeated Antiochus
because remember, the Greeks and Romans were fighting each other. Remember I said earlier, you had the Maccabees fighting the Greeks fighting the Romans, Hannibal fighting the Romans. And you had the Spartans fighting the Romans too. So all going on. So Hannibal said, well, I can't beat them now. My own people are against me. I'll help the Greeks overthrow the Romans. I'll help Antiochus defeat the Romans. Go ahead.
When the Romans defeated Antiochus.
When the Romans defeated him, go ahead.
At Magnesia, 189 BC, they made it a condition of peace that Hannibal should be turned over to them.
Bring us Hannibal. Go ahead.
He escaped first to Crete.
He ran again. He a black man. He always on the run, man. I'm out, yo. I'm out of here. Yo, I'm out. He dipped again. Go ahead. To the island of Crete. Go ahead.
He escaped first to Crete, then to Bithynia. The Romans hunted him out and surrounded his hiding place with soldiers.
Damn, go ahead.
Hannibal preferred death to capture. Let us, he said, relieve the Romans from the anxiety they have so long experienced, since they think it tried their patience too much to wait for an old man's death.
You know one thing? I do you guys a favor. I just tell myself, because you guys are so afraid of me being alive, I just tell myself. Go ahead.
He drank the poison that he carried with him and died, aged 67, in the year 184 BC. A few months later, his conqueror and admirer Scipio followed him to peace.
He died too. Because when you read later on in history, Hannibal left his people. They turned against him, and Scipio left his because they turned against him, trying to help Hannibal. So both of them ended up being like suffered the same fate in a way. It's weird. Because yeah, pretty much like a Naruto Sasuke type of thing, right? If you know that stuff. But pretty much that's what happened. They pretty much turned against them, so they held our own people. And they both died in peace the same way.
So it's like two old enemies become friends.
Right. Damn. Two rivals become friends and fade to the same thing.
And that's how much that's how much respect he had for him.
Right. Because he was
like, he was enemy, man, but you bad, bro.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Let's become friends now. Yeah.
I read somewhere else too also that Scipio and Hannibal, when he was on the run in his hiding Scipio used to meet up with him, and they just used to, converse.
Right.
About the wars they had with each other. But also that also lets you know that Esau don't forget about you, man.
Nope.
They do not forget.
They don't forget you. They come for you. They will come for you.
Hey, look at
white folks don't get mad for a little while, cry and complain and burn things and forget it. White folks remember forever.
Right.
Look at our
for generations.
Our sister Asada Shakur.
That's
right.
Yo,
Right.
that was how long ago? She's in another country.
They still chasing her.
They still chasing. Yo, I don't. That's Most High's hiding her.
Yeah. Right.
In her old age too, just
Yep.
like Hannibal.
They can't
They
find
can't
her.
let her go.
They
Don't
can't
let her
find
go.
her.
Right. They can. They just can't touch her. They know what she is. GetBatango.com. This man's the devil. He knows exactly what she is. You just can't touch her.
Because it's Cuban government.
Right.
They're not going to give her up.
No. GetBatango.com. Antiochus III. I'm going to finish this, man. I'm going to finish this page. GetBatango.com. Antiochus III. This number. We're going to start at meeting no resistance. And we're going to end at including his son, the fourth. Antiochus, Ochus the third. 3 I's, 3 capital I's.
It's right there.
The Great, yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're gonna start at meeting. This is Antiochus the Great or the Third, who Hannibal became his counselor, right? Meeting no resistance. Just type in if you want, find in page, meeting no resistance. So you ain't gotta sit there and scroll down and try to find. Just type in meeting no resistance or meeting. Right there. Meeting no resistance. We're gonna end at his son the fourth. Go ahead.
Meeting no resistance. Where you going? Meeting no resistance. The Roman army crossed the Hellespont in 190 BC. Antiochus was now eager to negotiate on the basis of Rome's previous demands. But the Romans insisted that he first evacuate the region west of the Taurus Mountains. When Antiochus refused, he was decisively defeated in the Battle of Magnesia near Mount Cephalus, where he fought with a heterogeneous army of 70,000 men against an army of 30,000 Romans.
Damn. Go ahead.
What's going on? 30,000 Romans and their allies. Although he could have continued the war in the eastern provinces, he renounced all claim to his conquests in Europe and in Asia Minor, west of the Taurus at the peace treaty of Apamea. He also was obliged to pay an indemnity of 15,000 talents over a period of 12 years, surrendered his elephants and his fleet, and furnished hostages, including his son Antiochus IV.
Including his son Antiochus IV. You know who encouraged him to fight this battle of Magnesia? Hannibal. And when he lost, he had to pay back 15,000 talents and surrender his son until he's able to pay it back. Now, let's get 1 Maccabees 8, verse 6. We start the what? Verse 5?
Yes, sir.
Read verse 6.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
How also Antiochus, the great king of Asia, that came against them in battle, having 120 elephants, with horsemen and chariots and a very great army, was discomfited by them.
By the Romans. And this is Antiochus the Great or the Third. Go ahead.
And how they took him alive, and covenanted that he and such as reigned after him should pay a great tribute.
A great indemnity. Same thing. Go ahead.
And give hostages.
Go ahead.
And that which was agreed upon.
What hostage did he give? The hostage he's supposed to give was Hannibal, was one, and his son was the other. So Hannibal was out. He dipped. But his son he had to give him instead. The fourth. Go to chapter 1 now, verse 10.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome.
What was he?
A hostage at Rome.
What was Antiochus Epiphanes what?
A hostage at Rome.
He was a hostage at Rome. Go ahead.
And he reigned in 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
See, Antiochus Epiphanes is Antiochus the fourth, the great son. He was held hostage because his father owed that money for fighting that battle, that Hannibal counseled him to fight, and he lost. He had to pay back a debt, and someone was held hostage until that debt was paid off. See how it all ties together. History ties into Hannibal. Hannibal's in the Bible, just not by name.
And they show that as a tactic, a war tactic of the Romans. They always took the son, always took the firstborn of the son as a hostage and raised them up as a Roman citizen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's just like for collateral damage, just in case.
Right, collateral.
If they decided to get out of hand, then they could kill a son, or sometimes they will raise the son up from youth, and then they'll place them over that village to rule over that village, because why? They're born up, whatever they was born up as that, and then they could instill the Roman values and keep track of what's going on.
Right. Get page 39 real quick. Page 39, we're going to start the Latins. I'm going to finish this page. The Latins. Page 39. Well, this page right here. Page 39, the Latins gave the name Caesar and Christ. Sorry about that. Caesar and Christ, page 39.
And also, you could see an example of that, what Kat was just mentioning in the movie Dracula Untold.
Mm-hmm. Right. It was his son, right? Mm-hmm. Raised him. Mm-hmm. Now it's Jake too, fighting against
yes, sir.
the Arabs.
The Ottoman Empire.
Vlad Dracul was us also, the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler was Jake too.
Go down to Latin.
The Latins gave, right there, the pencil mark is. Blow it up. If you can't, it's fine. You can still see it.
The Latins gave the name Africa to the region around Carthage and Utica.
So they gave the name Africa to the region around Carthage and Utica. Only that portion of Africa was referred to as Africa because that was Hannibal's capital. Carthage, that area, was conquered by Scipio Africanus, so they named that region he conquered Africa. Go ahead.
And followed the Greeks and calling its Semitic population puny, Phoenicians.
See that? Or Semitic population, Phoenicians. Now, one more. Get page 351. Is it going to cut? Try to extend. Give me 10. Page 351. Give me outline. Give me outline. I'm going to finish this page. Now it's a wrap. It should be only 2 pages. 351, 352 of outline, right? So all I want is 2. We can end it on this.
Do you have it?
No. You don't have it? No.
All right.
Yeah, those 2 pages.
What are the numbers?
408, 400.
That's from let me see. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. The same one. I'm sorry. I gave you that book, Jess. That's the other copy I had.
Yes, sir.
It was on those pages. It's 4849. Yes, that's it.
Deacon, where are we starting?
Start from the history.
The history of the next 15 years is a story of the most brilliant and futile raid in history. For 15 years, Hannibal held out in Italy, victorious and unconquered.
We ruled Italy for 15 years. That's why I said we had some blood Negro strain among the Romans, because we messed around with the women over there. Go ahead.
The Roman generals were no match for the Carthaginian, and whenever they met him, they were beaten.
Whenever he met him, we beat him. And it says in the other book we read earlier, in jest, Hannibal would joke around about it. He would joke around about it. These guys is weak. He would laugh.
Having fun with him.
He's having fun with him. Jump down to whenever he met.
Whenever he met the Romans in open fight, he beat them.
Whenever he met them in open fight, he beat them. Jump down next one. In 216.
In 216 BC, he was assailed by a vastly superior Roman force under Varro at Cannae.
You read this earlier. Cannae, go ahead.
And destroyed it utterly.
Go ahead.
50,000 men are said to have been killed and 10,000 prisoners taken.
Go ahead.
He was, however, unable to push on and capture Rome because he had no siege equipment.
Because he wasn't prepared enough. But if he was prepared, he would have took Rome at that point. Next page, 409. Spain was also. So Spain also was. What's the underlying parts?
Spain also was wrested bit by bit from the Carthaginian.
Wait, go back to page 480 again. I'm sorry.
Which one, D?
The bottom page. But Cannae produced other fruits.
But Cannae But Cannae produced other fruits. A large part of southern Italy came over to Hannibal.
Large part of southern Italy, that's Sicily, came to Hannibal. Go ahead.
Including Capua.
Capua.
The city next in size to Rome. And the Macedonians allied themselves with him.
Those were Israelites in that area, Macedonians living there. Now go to page 409.
Spain also was wrested bit by bit from the Carthaginian grip.
You begin to lose. Go ahead.
When at last reinforcements for Hannibal under his brother Hasdrubal, not to be confused with his brother-in-law of the same name who was assassinated, struggled through into Italy. They were destroyed at the Battle of the Maturias in 207 BC. And the first news that came to Hannibal of the disaster was the hacked off head of his brother thrown into to his camp.
See? And let him mourn for that. Go ahead.
Thereafter, Hannibal was blockaded into Calabria, the hill of Italy. He had no forces for further operations of any magnitude, and he returned at last to Carthage in time to command the Carthaginians in the last battle of the war. The last battle, the Battle of Zama, 202 BC, was fought close to Carthage. It was the first defeat Hannibal experienced, and so it is well to give a little attention to the personality of his conqueror, Scipio Africanus, the Elder.
Scipio Africanus, the Elder. Go ahead.
Who stands out in history as a very fine gentleman, indeed, a great soldier and a generous man.
Go ahead.
We have already mentioned a certain P. Cornelius Scipio who struck at Hannibal's base in Spain. This was his son.
This is his son. So Scipio Africanus was P. Cornelius Scipio. P. Cornelius Scipio. Go ahead.
Until after Zama, this son bore the same name of P. Cornelius Scipio, and then the surname Africanus was given him.
Go ahead.
The younger Scipio
after it says the elder, so they gave him his father's name. Go ahead.
The younger Scipio Africanus Minor, who was later to end the Third Punic War, was the adopted son of this first Scipio Africanus, the Elder.
Wait, what? Read again. This is the younger Scipio Africanus, Scipio Africanus Minor, who was later to end the Third Punic War. Was the third one. We'll get to that another time. Was the adopted son of the first Scipio Africanus, the Elder. So he had one son of his own and one adopted son. The adopted son conquered us again during the third time. His actual son conquered Hannibal that second time. All right? And that's how, and the Latins gave that landmass he conquered Africa, named after him, the younger, named after Scipio Africanus Minor. That's what Africa comes from, this men here. Okay, Scipio Africanus the Elder, then you have Scipio Africanus Minor. All right, that's who conquered Hannibal. Hannibal almost killed the father, the Elder, very early. He wounded him by the sword. He escaped. Then this son took over. And then this son, his father adopted somebody else, and he also conquered us again during the Third Punic War. And that's how Africa got its name, from this Africanus line of the Romans. All right, so we're gonna end it on that. Hope I got something out of today's class. Shout out to the IT team. Shout out to the breakfast team. Don't praise the Lord about that. Cat, announcements.
Well, praise to the Most High. Thank you. We appreciate you every week as you attend our show, Our Hidden History. Once again, if you would like to give donations to Our Hidden History show, you could donate to iuic.newjersey at israelunite.org. Just put in the description box that is for specifically Our Hidden History. Also, if you'd like to donate to the Booster Club, you can donate to iuic.fundraiser at israelunite.org. Once again, you can donate to iuic.fundraiser at israelunite.org. And if you feel it in the kindness of your heart, as you can see that we're suffering economic depression. I'm suffering economic depression, and I need the support of the community. My book collection has stopped because the white man decided not to fund us our stimulus check.
Oh.
So you can donate to iuic.newjersey at israelunite.org and put in the subject matter Captain Joel's book fund. Plus, you can put an extra money for Captain Joel's stimulus check fund.
So brothers, sisters, stay tuned. We're gonna delve into the decline of Hannibal's rulership and open up into the realm of King Arthur. Coming up with King Arthur's coming up next. So stay tuned for that. The history ties into him. All right. So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom,
Most
shalom,
Christ
shalom,
bless.
shalom,
Most Christ bless.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now we going back, breathing on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. I got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. The mouth from my lips when I'm show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Taking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book. Yeah, the prophets back. Officer Ahim. Yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix. Yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge. Officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah.